Hello? Hello. Everybody, happy Tuesday. Very good morning to you. Hope you're keeping well. Today you join us with the cat, who sat in her spot. Hello, cat. And, well, today, friends, we're in X-Plane. We're going to be flying in the Airfoillabs C172 NG in a beautiful November 80991 livery. That of the awesome Aviation 101, if you watch Josh and see what he gets up to with all his flying. And yeah, looking forward to this one. We're here in Kentucky. We have some interesting weather. Yes. And we're going to be using OnAir. We're going to pick up some sightseeing missions for today and explore, well, what it's all about. Hope you're keeping well. It's no post this morning. It's Amazon. Still waiting on the things to arrive. Don't know how the cat's going to react to all of this, but I hope you're keeping well. Right, you know, lovely flight we had last night over Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We're in the incredibly beautiful Piston Duke from Black Square. Really enjoyed that flight as we were kind of rambling around, you see. And today is something a little bit different. I've been looking forward to getting into X-Plane for this flight. The 172 from Airfoillabs, it's without question the best 172 at the moment in flight sim. And if you don't agree with me, I'll fight you. Right, so we're going to take this out for a spin. And then a little bit later on this evening, we're going to be back in some truck sim, an American truck sim, as we drive around Colorado. Yes, it's all terribly American themed today, and we're on early in the morning, so our American friends are probably still in the sleeping bag. Except for soaring AJ. The man doesn't sleep. But anyway, how's she cutting? How's your Tuesday going? Any news? Any scandal? You know, is there anything happening at all? I'd love to know. Who's here? Look, Spitfire RAF 100. Good morning to you, buddy. Hope you're well. Vacuum is in the house. Shutter Pilot is here. He says we so need a good 172 in Microsoft Flight Sim 24. We really do. We really do. Like the default 172 is all right, but the sounds that Echo 19 made really enhance it. But yeah, it's long overdue. I mean, the WB Sim, you can get that working, but it's still not perfect. You know, there's a couple of nuances with it, but it's a super aircraft. But I would very much love to see A2A return with a 172. I don't know what the market will be like for them though, but I think there is huge scope for a proper 172 in Microsoft Flight Sim. At think where we're gone now with kind of 172s is a bit like Airbus, isn't it? How many Airbus A320s do we have? We've at least 3 different developers working on their own. Do you know, 4? There's 4 of them. Jesus. But anyway, let's see what happens there. Frozen Gamer, good morning. Eamon 1973. How are you, Eamon? Eamon, are you still on your Holliers? Hope you're well, buddy. 98 Vulcan, very good morning to you. Sim Guy is here. Soaring AJ, top of the morning to you, buddy. Hope you're well. The Limbix is here. He says, howdy Murph and Fireflies. Oh, Jesus. I have a confession to make. As someone who disagrees with pineapple on pizza, I had Hawaiian pizza today and I enjoyed it. Ooh. I don't know what to do now. Listen, you know, what are you doing now? Are you just going to hang around or? She's having a now scratch there now. Hi. Her name is Cat. She answers, look at the hairs. She answers to the name Cat. You know, we didn't get, is that itchy? Is it? Look at the hairs off you. Jesus. What's your deal? Yeah. Don't show that end. Have a bit of respect, will you? Jesus. But anyway, she's going for the walk. Go out and play with the traffic. This cushion that we use for the cat in here. She's my trusty co-pilot, you see. And, oh Jesus, there now. Move that in fairly lively. She'll set up camp somewhere and no doubt an ambush will be following at some stage. You know what I mean? Hang on. There's rubbish and stuff all over the place. But yes, Limbix, I don't know what to do. I mean, you've now joined the elite club of those who enjoy Hawaiian pizza. But pineapple, it's very important. It's nutritious, it's fruity, it's good for thirst. And it makes you sound more sophisticated than what you normally would. So that's my thoughts on it. Frozen Gamers, after watching 10 in a row. How do I explain this one here? Listen, you know, you were otherwise engaged. Right, that's what we'll say there. Zith is here, good morning to you. Who else come in? November 7373 Lima Foxtrot just woke up. Top of the morning to you, buddy. Commander Balosh is here. Good afternoon, he says. Happy Tuesday. And to you, buddy. Shuller says, yeah, I love the Echo 19 sounds. I've flown a 172 several times in real life. It's so realistic. Yeah, his sounds are awesome. They're really good. Gog Poo, welcome aboard. New X-Plane flight, so good day. Good day. Indeed it is. The cat has taken over Spitfire. She absolutely is. I'm sliding down a dangerous slippy slope, looking at some older Skoda mistakes. Oh, you're looking at older Skodas? Mistakes will be made. No. There's no mistakes with Skoda, right? They're happy little accidents. But yes, Dazza Tiarab is here. Good to see you, Dazza. Hope you're well, my dude. Who else come in? Donald Martin, welcome in. Sure, you have it handy there, Merv. Sure, listen, you know, we'd be trying to do stuff with things. Do you know what I mean? Kubi is here. Kubi, Montana. Hope you're well, buddy. And a very happy Tuesday to you. Gary Moore is here. Merv, when am I coming to Australia? Well, I'm thinking of going to New Zealand next year. I'm just waiting on the I'm just waiting to see what way the flights work out, you know. And that's going to be probably the end of March or early April. And that's going to make next year a busy year, right? For traveling. Because in March I'm away to the Netherlands for FS weekend. Possibly then the end of March, April will be New Zealand. Be doing nothing in May, and then June it's over to Flight Sim Expo. So right, and that's before we go on holidays. So yeah, I'll have to wait and see what happens there. Abdul is here. Good to see you, my guy. Hope you're well. Yeah. Dazza says, love this plane. It's so good. So there's two variants from Airfoillabs. They gave us the original one back in the day, which featured the G1000 cockpit. And this one is now the steam gauge variant. And I do like it very, very, very much. And as I say, the livery we're using, it is that of November 80901. If you guys haven't watched Aviation 101, Josh Flowers, he makes some of the most breathtaking movies that just happen to revolve around general aviation. They're his two kind of passions, I suppose. It's you know, flying, aviation, and filmmaking. And he has some incredible content on YouTube. And yeah, I mean, it's so easy to kind of binge watch like several hours of it. Do you know what I mean? And you learn an awful lot watching his content as well. And him and his missus there, they do incredible stuff. Well, she's not a missus yet. Do you know? They're waiting to get married, but they're engaged. Do you know? And she's brilliant as well. She brings the mechanical, technical side into it. It's some of the best aviation content you can watch online. It's really, really good. And yeah, I'm a huge fan. Schutz is here. Good morning. Hope you're well. Steam gauges all the way. Yes, steam gauges. You better believe it. Racking up some frequent flyer points. Come on, Gary. Yeah, there's going to be there'll be a lot of mileage, I'd say, now flying to New Zealand. So I don't know what way to go. We'll either go we'll go Dublin, San Francisco, Auckland, and then Auckland down to Invercargill, or we can go Dublin, Abu Dhabi, or Dubai, probably over to Melbourne or Sydney, and then down that way. So yeah, we'll wait and see. You know, there's no decision made just yet, so we'll wait and see how we're going. We're also running with Garmin Pilot here this morning, which also works over in X-Plane, which is great news, and it connects directly to it, which is nice. So it'll be interesting to see how all this behaves as we start looking for some missions, some flights in which we can do, and we'll also pick up the weather while we're sitting on the ramp here as well, because the weather's looking a bit, you know, interesting over this neck of the woods. So we'll see where we go with that. You know, so has anyone here use X-Plane? Does anyone have X-Plane, or are you exclusive to that of our beloved Microsoft Flight Sim? You know, we'd have this discussion all the time with Microsoft Flight Sim or X-Plane. I always say we'll have both. For me, Microsoft Flight Sim is my absolute favorite because it's so good. Visually stunning, and there's a whole community there, and it's just incredible. With X-Plane 12, they are making very strong leaps in terms of getting things you know, enhanced, right? And we're going to have a look at its new weather radar here as well. We can actually open up on the developer side. We can actually see how the weather engine works, which is pretty cool. But it is a lot of fun. I have to say, like, you will have awesome, you know, simulated flight experiences using the likes of X-Plane 12 as well. So I highly recommend it. If you have the real estate, if you have space on your hard drives, I would recommend both sims. And the reason being is it's healthy to see what goes on in the other sims, because then when you go back to Microsoft Flight Sim, well, number one, you can see what they're working on and how they're trying to enhance. But two, you also start appreciating the things they've put in place. Then the last bit is you can kind of see where the gaps are on both platforms. So you can kind of say, geez, it'd be great if they worked on that. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. Both sims have their place, but X-Plane is coming up fast. It is. And I think that's about right, though. Where Microsoft need to be at right now is, you know, settle the ship, fix the bugs, you know, make the thing bulletproof, and they definitely are doing that. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. The Slick One says, I'm flying the CL60 at the moment. Ooh, the Challenger. Beautiful airplane. Scares the crap out of me. But yeah, let's see what happens here now. So we're going to press a button, and then we're going to press another button, and we'll ramble over here to our Cessna 172. Now, the actual November 80901 is a 172M series, and slight difference in what we have here. This one here, it's designated as a Skyhawk 2, but the good thing about this is, well, it's all relevant. You know what I mean? It's all relevant. As I said, I just ordered the H32X desktop overhead panel from Scalarchy, and also the Wing FCU and MacDo. Dazza, listen, I've room on me couch when Mrs. Dazza, sends it packing, right? Jesus, that's quite the setup. Now, Dazza, you need... Oh, wait, your sim pit now, will you have to put like an arm up and over? That's going to be some setup, Dazza. I can't wait to see this up and running. The Scalarchy overhead. I know there's a cheaper one in the market, but the reviews I saw from FS Elite weren't great. I was looking at it and I was like, Jesus, there's build quality issues and all of this. So I think the Scalarchy one, they're well positioned in the hardware market. I mean, they've been making stuff for years. So that's going to be awesome. Creo is here. Good morning, Creo. Hope all is well in Mayo. Alternite is here. Welcome in, buddy. He says, top of the morning. Welcome aboard. Dazza says, yeah, I got a monitor extension. I'll post in Discord when set up. Nice, man. Nice. That's going to be awesome, Dazza. Will you ever see outside again, right? And also, we're all going to your gaff, right? Put on the kettle. Why? We want to play with his new toys. Who would... Right? We used to do it as kids. I'm going over to my mate's house. Why? He's all the cool Lego, Now that we're older, we're going to Daz's house. Why? He's all the cool hardware. Outside is so overrated. Absolutely. So here we are in X-Plane 12.3. This is the beta they're still working on. And the inclusion is very much along the lines of weather and how they put weather in. So what we're going to do here, we're going to open up the new weather map, right? And this is pretty cool. So we'll make this full screen so we can actually see what we're looking at. So with the weather radar and the technology in which X-Plane is doing, it's going to be heavy on frames here, so we'll have to wait and see. But if we were to look at, for example, precip, now it eats your frames, right? But you can kind of see how the whole thing is doing its stuff. It's rendering on a radar how weather moves, right? And they're able to show that on a radar, right? So if we were to look at, hang on now, we have a couple of other options here. If we were to look at the scan, the wind direction, right? And this is the entire planet, right? They have the entire planet on this. We're looking here, we're blowing Kentucky at the moment. We're on the ground at a place called, what's it called? Bowling something. What do you call it? Bowling Green, Warren County Regional Airport, Kilo Bravo Whiskey Golf. That's where we're situated at the moment, right? Now we can also scan for precip, right? So if there's rain in the area, and we can see, yes, there is rain in our area. We can see where the clouds are, right? But there's other things we can do, because we can scan for all the local METARs, and these are all the METAR stations that are communicating to X-Plane, or at least that X-Plane is getting the data from these METARs, because it's set to real world weather, right? So it's actually quite incredible when you see, everywhere in the world that's reporting in weather. So that's having a clear look at its database. Now, I think more needs to load up later on. It's probably limited to a number, because otherwise it would probably crash your machine, right? But as you can see here, look, winds are light and variable. Visibility is greater than 10 miles. Sky conditions were overcast at 5,300. Temperature 21, dew point 18, and our altimeter is 29997. And then the age of that METAR, right? Which is pretty mad. So you got one of those kettles they used on the Vulcan for the sim pit. Oh, did he? Alternite lives about 2 hours from here. Oh, nice, really? Awesome stuff. Sweet. What else do we have here? Wind direction, envelope wind direction, right? And you can kind of like that's a radar. It's quite interesting to see how they managed to do it. Envelope precip in the area. Again, you're looking at how the weather is being depicted in the sim, and then this radar being able to visualize what's happening outside of the cloud rendering. You know what I mean? Which is very, very cool indeed. This is something I would love to see come into Microsoft Flight Sim. There is technically a weather radar, more for precip and that, but in terms of, the ability to be able to scan and like, it's it's not like we have nothing, but it's the depiction of the weather here, I think, is absolutely incredible, right? In X-Plane, like it's how they can, it's the data that's driving it is quite incredible, you know. Dog sat on the wireless keyboard, ignore unless you're typing in coordinates for something. Brilliant. But this is all part, as I say, of that weather radar, and it's only a matter before we start seeing it being added into other aircraft and stuff. You know what I mean? What else do we have here? Wind, speed. It's all there, so it's pretty cool. Just wanted to have a look at that to show you. You know, this is the you know, this is what's going on in the background of X-Plane, where it's you know, people would be quick to say, oh yeah, but the graphics, you know, we get that, but like when you see the level of friggin' coding and detail and simulation that goes on in the background, it's staggering. It is staggering. And the last time I saw something like this was probably in the Hot Star Challenger, because they simulate each and every system and subsystem of that aircraft. This is cool. I mean, the geek inside of you is like, what is this screen? What does this mean? It's pretty awesome. You know what I mean? It absolutely better than nothing else available. I won't bore everyone with my arguments. Go on, Conti. Brilliant. But it is. This weather radar is quite outstanding. Like, as I say, the one that's over Microsoft, it has its uses, right? And depending on the add-on, yeah, you can do a bit of scan and tilt and gain and whatnot. But the data it's feeding you, it's a little bit light. This thing is well, this is as close to real life as you're going to get. You know what I mean? Daz is there for the vertically challenged. Come on yourself. X-Plane is like the chally. You see all the background stuff. The data's the details. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I thought we'd show that just to say, well, like, this is what goes on. Planet elevation. I don't even know half the stuff in this, right? But I do know it changes considerably when the weather changes as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's very, very nice. But our mission here today, of course, is with the aircraft, and we're going to be using OnAir. So we'll be setting up our aircraft. We'll have to do a full walk around. We have checklists, and we're going to be checking on our routing as well. So we'll have to put in a bit of a flight plan. This aircraft, as I say, it's just one of the best in X-Plane. And if we go over to the Airfoillabs website, for example, here is where they talk about the features of this aircraft, and not only the features about it, but they've also modeled a full damage model on the aircraft. For example, you can collapse the landing gear if you come down too hard, you can break the engine, bend the prop, you can do all these things if you mistreat it. But what makes the aircraft very special then is it's so close to that of a real world Cessna 172. It's a very good learning platform, not necessarily for the flight handling, because you're never really going to get that in a flight sim. You'll get close, right? I mean, motion platform, VR, friggin' force feedback. I mean, the gap is getting bridged completely. What this allows you to do is get familiar with the systems, the depth of systems, any nuances that might happen, navigating, you know, the whole idea of load, of multitasking, right? Multiple loads that a pilot would have to watch in terms of navigation, communication. You're looking at engine instruments. You're, you know, managing the power, the energy of the airplane. Well, this allows you to do all of those things and more. You can get very familiar with the cockpit, know where everything is. You get familiar then, you know, with how the engine behaves at different altitudes and stuff. And of course, the advantages of a flight simulator, well, you can kind of take the aircraft outside of its comfort zone with, you know, no risk of other than looking like an idiot in front of your friends, right? So it's very, very good. So with the X-Plane 12 features of the aircraft, it has been updated for X-Plane 12. But of the 3D model, I mean, you've seen it. It looks great. The sounds are good. The flight model is very good. It feels what it should. I still think the P factor is a little bit strange, but that's probably my own settings. The aircraft systems are incredible. The electrical system, engine logic, and then of course we have all the failures. But not only that though, right? You can really start kind of diving into this aircraft and learning its systems, because we have a ton of options over here. For example, we can go in and, you know, fully explore the electrical system, which is, you know, that's straight out of the POH. But it's also, this will come alive as you turn on various systems. You'll actually see the things lighten up, right? And then, of course, it has the engine visualizer, which is savage altogether. You can slow things right down and actually get this, you know, to have this sort of a perspective on an engine, you're never going to have this, right? Even you could be dialed into all the digital cool stuff and you might get an idea. But this is going to show you then, your cylinder head temperature, your exhaust gas temperature. It's going to show you how you're fouling, or is there fouling when it comes to your spark plugs. And it's just class. Anything from your engine prime to your spark plug fouling. And you can speed this or slow it down so you can really get in and see each stage of that 4-stroke engine. So if anything else, it's just cool to see, your combustion engine doing its stuff, Seth Sim, welcome in, buddy. Yeah, this aircraft is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And like what we see here, I mean, this is nothing unique to Flight Sim. We've seen this level of detail before. A2A have done it with their AccuSim products, and of course Black Square are doing it as well, and Just Flight to an extent. But of course Airfoillabs do this, and they also have their fleet at the moment includes both Cessnas. They did release an aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim, but it was light. The Beechcraft they have, the King Air. Outstanding airplane. Must fly that soon, actually. They're also working on a DC-3 and a C-47, and I think their most highly anticipated project is that of a 737. That's what they're working on at the moment. So they're a busy old developer. But the good news is, here, it looks absolutely gorgeous. The modelling, everything about this plane is just class looking. You know what I mean? And this is going to be our chariot for today. Now, we do have a lot of options when it comes to, static elements and what's in the aircraft and what's outside the aircraft. For example, we can connect a little GPU there, ground power unit. We can remove our before flight. We can do this manually, or we can go from a little option up here on the left-hand side. We can also put a rain cover on it that'll close my door, or indeed we can put a heater on the front, and that'll keep us nice and warm in the sub-zero temperatures. Other options we have for the aircraft, we can change up some of the avionics. I've loaded in the GTN XI 750 from TDS, and we can appear the fairings, we can change the wheel hubs, we can change the size of the tires, we can make these tundra if we want and go rambling. We have vortex generators up on the wings if we want them, right? All producing more stable and efficient flight. Our flap gap seals, right? So there are naturally there's gaps obviously where the flaps come down, right? There's some modifications that you can make to these aircraft. It tends to be from the personally owned ones, the privately owned ones. You wouldn't always see them in the likes of flight schools. But if you have a look in here just under the wing, right? If we zoom in here a bit, so you see, slow down now, Murphy. Do you see the if I do one of these and then one of those, well, there we go. Look, see the gap in here underneath the flaps, right? So what we can do, I mean, you can move the surfaces as you would if you're doing a walk around check. But if we were to go in here and put the gap, the slack gap in, the whole idea is to keep the air clean under the wing, so it's not rushing up and creating drag. And they all have an impact on the aircraft, which is absolutely incredible. Everything that you change with the plane, it's not just cosmetic. You can actually feel the changes. You know what I mean? So I'm going to remove the wheel pans because it just looks better without them. And what else we have? Weight and balance. We'll get into all that now in a moment. There is wear and tear in the aircraft. As I said, you can damage it, you can break it, and you can also just general wear and tear. There's a fairly decent failure list as well. If you wanted to be practicing failures, electric failures, aileron failure, we're all in trouble. But like engine out, if you wanted to do that, or perhaps how do we navigate now because we've just lost our GPS, for example, right? Or you've lost all avionics. What are you going to do? You can simulate all of these things, So what we're going to do, before we get started with some missions from OnAir, we're going to get the aircraft into a fit and state kind of setup. So we're going to open the door and we're going to step on out of the aircraft. So what I want to do here, we're going to bring our checklists in for our Cessna 172. So we'll open up the Garmin Pilot for this to help us out. So we're going to do our pre-flight inspection. So our control wheel lock, let's go in here and have a look. So we're going to remove that, so that's checked. Ignition switch, the keys are on the dash, so that's off. Avionics power switch, we go down here, have a quick look. Avionics bus 1 and 2 are off, that's checked. Our master switch, we're going to turn that on. Ensure our parking brake is on here as well. Fuel quantity indicators, we need to check our fuel. We're very low on fuel, so we're going to have to top this one up. So if we're not actually, we're full to the gills, so we're full of fuel, which is brilliant, right? So that's good for us. Master switch now going to come off. And the baggage door, we need to hop out and check that. This is all part of our pre-flight. So we'll come on around to the back here and we'll ramble over to our baggage door and we will put the key in. And we'll have a look in to make sure all is okay. Yeah, that looks good to me. So the baggage door has been checked. and it is locked. Okay, rudder gust lock. We'll go over and have a quick look here if there's anything tied down with the aircraft. I don't think I can move any faster than this. But we also have tie downs, so we can remove the rear tie down as we kind of coming along here towards the back. Stevie B's, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. So we can see the aircraft identification number there. That's all where it wants to be. Remove the tie downs. Just duck it in here underneath. Let's have a look. Is there any dust lock covers or gust lock covers? And I don't believe there's any fitted to this aircraft, so we should be grand. There's none fitted. Tie downs, we're going to remove all the tie downs now in a moment, and then we're going to check our control surfaces. But what we need to do is, this is going to be fun because we need to be careful with the door, right? We're okay with the door. So we're going to go battery on, and we're going to lower the flaps all the way. And battery off. So we're going to go outside now and start inspecting the flaps. I think I can use all the touchstones here as well. So let me see. We're going to go into this view and we shall slow things down. Alrighty. So if I can do, let me see. Is it one of these? Here we go. So we need to try and take our time with this here now. So when we do our walk around from the external side, we can follow the aircraft itself. It'll give us information on how we do it. So you start obviously at the pilot door and you start working your way around the entire aircraft. So from this, we're going to go and remove the chocks on this side. As we look up, we can remove the pitot cover, and toward the rear of the aircraft, we're going to check on the connections of the flaps here as well. And of course, we're going to be checking on the condition of the trailing edge. We're going to remove the tie down here. We have a fuel drain off point there. That's all looking good. The ailerons we can get in and move. You should see the yoke inside moving with these as well. So they're moving okay. No weird sounds. No sign of damage or excessive wear and tear. Over to the nav lights. Ideally, we want to be testing these, but you're going to be checking the bulbs. Depending on where you are at the time of day, you know, we can put the battery on. We can go ahead and get the nav lights on. And we'll put on that beacon light. In fact, we'll turn on all our lights here. And what we can do to make life easier, we're going to connect this into ground power so we don't absolutely shag the plane, right? So we have ground power. Amps are jumping up all over the place. Don't know, is that a bug now? But let's see what happens. So we can see that our lights indeed are working there in the wing. As we move across, we have our landing lights up at the front. They're all looking absolutely beautiful. And we'll zoom in here so we can actually see what we're doing. We also have our stall sensor, which is just here. So it's like a little flap. So the idea being is when there's not enough wind, the flap stays down. When enough wind hits it, it keeps the flap up, the small little flap up here. And it effectively works as a micro switch. If there's not enough air hitting it, the switch will engage and you'll hear the bell or the stall horn inside in the aircraft. We also have some feeders here to check our fuel. So we can stick our stuff into it. And what we're looking for here is a line of water on top of the fuel. So we're looking good there. We're looking good there. We're looking good there. The pitot tube, we can't really test this. Now, usually, it could take a few moments for that to heat up. It can get hot. You want to be careful. It can get proper hot. As in, you'll burn your hand off it. So backing the hand on it after about a minute or so usually does the job. So we got to remove all our little fuel drains here. We've another one up here. Alrighty, our fuel is looking good. We've just connected our GPU. Now we can open up the cowlings on this guy. And we can remove the bottom cowling here as well. And we can go in and start looking at our Lycoming engine. It's all modelled. It's absolutely gorgeous. That's the connection where your ground power goes in. That's our aircraft battery. You can click on this and you can actually see, when you click on the components, it'll actually tell you, you know, what are you looking at? How does it work? And so on and so forth, right? So come back down to me battery. Can I make this a little bit bigger? There we go. So it's a 28-volt DC electrical system, 24-volt battery located inside the engine cowling. During engine operations, the energy is supplied by a 50-amp alternator, but the battery and the alternator are controlled via a master switch, and the socket for the external power is located on the left side of the engine cowl. Sweet. So we can see its current state is 96%. That's quite okay, right? Moving down and along, we have 95%, so we are draining the battery. So turn you off and we continue on what we're looking at. zoom in there, Murph. So yeah, we were looking at the engine here, so we'll continue looking at the engine. So we have all our cylinders here as well. Cylinders 1 and 2, or is it no 2 and 4, and then 1 and 3 over the far side. They're looking good. The engine block and the exhaust manifold, you're checking for any cracks, or you're checking for cracks and holes and corrosion and all these sort of things. On the cylinder at the back of it, this particular Cessna, it's a 4-cylinder horizontally opposed boxer type engine, and each cylinder has a total volume of 90 cubic inches, which is 1.475. Altogether, the engine has 360 cubic inches, or 5.901. All right, so lovely. Slow things down. Up the very front here now, we've got some more stuff we can check. We have our flywheel. So the flywheel is the large circular metal plate partially hidden by the prop, spinner and the engine cowling. It performs several important functions. The flywheel, propeller and spinner are all solidly bolted to the crankshaft, and they turn at the same RPM as the crankshaft itself. Matt Robertson, good to see you. Paco, welcome in. Hope you're well, lads. The row of teeth on the edge of the flywheel mesh with a small gear in the starter motor, and when the ignition is in the start position, the starter gear pushes forward from the housing and it engages the flywheel. Also, the mass of the flywheel acts to smooth out the engine's relatively rough power pulses. There's a belt on the backside of the flywheel that then draws your or drives your alternator, and you can kind of see where the belt is there. Look. I'll see that's where the belt is. So you're going to be checking the flywheel and the belt. Again, we can see the state if it's okay. You have a number of intake stuff here up on top. If we have a now look in, I need to work on my camera movements. PH Droid would absolutely go nuts. Right, so we have the fuel flow transducer, produces a current pulse signal from the optoelectronic pump with a preamplifier. Then we have our main fuel lines. Fuel lines inside the engine compartment consists of a fuel strainer to the auxiliary fuel pump and then to the fuel air control unit, which of course that's going to be controlled by your mixture. From the fuel air control unit, there's a return line going back into the check valve for the fuel reservoir. The fuel lines are close to hot engine parts, therefore any failure represents a significant risk of fire. If not dealt with promptly, it could potentially cause a catastrophic failure. So your fuel lines, terribly, terribly important. Now, there's heat shields on these, so what you'd be looking for is, look, if you ever see copper wiring all blown out, that's what you're looking for in your fuel lines. That's that sort of look. Do you know what I mean? Again, the engine block, you'd be looking for like oil leaks and stuff around the engine block, just to give you an idea. Then towards the front, try and get our camera in at a position that we can actually see what it is we're doing. So we can go in here and have a look at the flywheel. We've checked. Cylinders are all grand. We have our alternator then. The alternates. So your alternator, that unit itself, similar to what you find in your car, that's being driven off the belt on the back of the flywheel. And this is the guy then, your alternator, that's going to be powering your electronics and also then recharging your battery. All right. So the alternator is a type of an electronic generator. So it is a generator, right? With alternating current, thus the name alternator, right? And it feeds all the electrical components within the aircraft. A belt-driven 60-amp alternator powers the electrical system, and the alternator and main battery are controlled through the master switch. On older models of piston aircrafts and Cessna aircraft built during the 1950s, it's quite common to find a generator which works much like an alternator, meaning that it converts mechanical power into electricity. The generators were replaced by alternators, as the alternator is far more efficient at low RPM and it creates more power. So it was better, lighter and cheaper. Generators are widely used on jet engines. You often see the gen switches and so on. Moving to the front then, we have our air intake, just similar to what you find in the front of your car, like that the rad in behind the fan, to prevent dust, particles, dirt, other microscopic contaminants entering the engine, flies, all this kind of stuff. There's air filters in at the back of it as well. They're placed on the air intake and they need to be replaced regularly as they become dirty and clogged over time. Now, it depends on where you're flying. If you're flying in kind of deserty areas, your filter is going to be changed an awful lot more. Do you know what I mean? The exhaust system, so underneath the manifold where it connects back in towards the block, again, just like the exhaust on your car, you're checking for any holes, rust, you know, where is it blown out? Is it rattling? Is it loose? That's what you're after there. So, everything here is looking good, and again we can see it's good, right? It's telling us if there's a problem. Press some buttons here, Murph. Where did that camera go? Right. Oh, I'm after attaching the tow bar. How do we get out of that? We won't move because of the wheel brakes on. So let me see. Close that. How do we undo that? There we go. And we'll continue on. So what else do we need to have a look at here as we're moving around? We're looking at the prop. We're looking at the spinner on the front. And the spinner, would you believe, anyone knows what the spinner does, apart from making the plane look kind of cool and wonderful? The main job of the spinner is diverting air into the intake. That's the main job of a spinner. Not all planes have spinners. The prop itself, 2-blade prop, and again, you'll be looking for any damage, visible signs of wear, especially on the leading edge. If you look at the prop closely, if you ever get the chance to look at a propeller, you'll actually see very closely that it is indeed the shape of the wing. It's the same shape of a wing, and that cuts down through the air. Cylinders then, 3 and 1, they're looking good. We also have, that's the engine block in here. Chip sensors, which would be in at the back here. There we go. Not chip sensors, CHT sensors. They're in at the very back. Cylinder head temperature sensors, small little electric units. They're going to measure the intake or indicate the temperature of the cylinder heads. CHT, that's what we're going for here. So all is looking good. What else do we have? Cylinder number 3. There's our ignition cables. Ignition cables connect to the magnetos and appropriate spark plugs in the cylinders. And again, the mags, there's 2 mags. 2 mags on this aircraft. So let me see, that's the exhaust. The oil sump. The oil sump located at the bottom of the engine, and it functions as an oil tank. And so if you're draining the fuel, you'd empty it out through the sump. I don't know what the usual practice is, because a lot of garages you go to now, they tend to take the fuel out through the top. They suck the oil, I beg your pardon, they suck the oil out through the top. I don't know how good that is when it comes to like homing engines, but you know, they do. Oil cooler down at the back, keep our oil temperature nice and low. And if you come on up to the top here, we can go ahead and inspect our engine oil, I think. I thought we could open that. Maybe we need everything closed off. So the vacuum pump is in behind it. That's going to be powering the likes of your gyro and all this kind of stuff. So the 172 G1000 has 1 vacuum pump driven by the engine. It provides vacuum to standby attitude instrument gyros. The normal operating range is between 4.5 and 5.5 inches of mercury. So that shouldn't be, we shouldn't be getting this information regarding the G1000 as we're in the steam gauge. So that's an Airfoillabs thing to fix, no doubt. So vacuum pump is good. We have an oil filter down at the very, very back. Again, lads, similar to what you're going to find in your car. It's just your standard oil filter. Twist on, twist off. They have that fancy chain on a spanner that you can loosen it up there. Do you know? What else do we have? That's the oil sump. That's all fine. I don't seem to be able to check in on the oil, which is interesting. We have the oil lines all right. So you can see where the oil comes in into the back of the filter. And then, of course, into the oil cooler as well. And the magneto on the right side. Then we'll have a magneto on the left side. Magnetos belong to a group of the oldest components of aircraft, would you believe? One of the first engine-driven magnetos were used by the Wright brothers during the construction of the 1903 Wright engine. The mag is part of the ignition system of the aircraft. It's a generator of high-voltage electricity, which is produced by a magnetic field generated by the magneto. There's always 2 mags on general aviation aircraft. The reason is not only redundancy, but also because it ensures better combustion. During takeoff checklist, the pilot must make sure that both magnetos are working correctly by switching them between the left and the right magneto. If this is a twin engine, each of the twin engines would have 2 magnetos. So that's what we do, your mag check during a run-up. All right. So they're all fitted there. Lovely hurdling. And that's kind of it. That's kind of it. So let me see here now. On the ground, checking with the wheels, checking out the tires. That made a sound, so I don't know what it does. Anyway, go ahead and get our cowlings put back on. If we can, from here, sure we can. We're to close that. There we go. If only it was that easy. Now, let's see if we can get in and actually check on our engine oil. Yes, we can. So, let's see. We can open up the oil and we can inspect on it. So, looking at it here, just under 8 quarts of oil. And we're looking good, and we can see the different types of oil that we're using as well. So all temperatures use don't know what it's supposed to say. I imagine it's synthetic. It is a semi-synthetic. Right, so we've enough oil in this, so we can go ahead and close him and close the flap. Again, if you want to go up now and check on the fuel, put our foot into the footrest. and then up on top of the wing. So this is where we'll be checking our main fuel tanks. And if we need to go in and check, we can dip. And if we wanted to, then we can go and refill. They'll actually, a vehicle come along and start filling up our fuel, which is ideal. See this gadget here, which is all deadly. And I thought there was a fuel truck that appears. Usually there is. You can actually pump fuel by toggling the handle. Look, that's mad, isn't it? So right, good luck and thanks. And we'll continue on. Looking at the leading edge of the wing, all should be looking fine here. You're looking for kind of, damaged dints, that kind of stuff. And as we move down now, we'll step back down. We'll remove the tie down. And down on the right wheel, we'll remove that chock. And same story again. You have also all your fuel drains. You can go in and check your fuel. And what you're looking for water mixed in with your fuel, condensation, because that gets into your engine, which the whole thing starts coughing and spluttering and all the jazz. So these are all your fuel points here. And what else do we have? Out to the side. That Ballooner, good to see you, buddy. Thank you very much indeed. 21 months, man. Cheers. The man is a legend. Again, we'll be looking at lights. We have our static wicks here at the trailing edge of the wing. Aileron movements. Everything's fine. Flap. Physically can't move the flap because it's locked in place. And as we move down towards the tail part of the aircraft, of your stabilizer and your elevators as well. And then we have a trim tab for your rudder trim. So the trim tab on this airplane, we don't have any fancy kind of, there's no motorized rudder trim on this gadget. It's literally a trim plate. And what you would do something like that is depending on what your weight and balance is going to be for the day, you would physically move it with your hand. You actually bend it with your hand, and that becomes then your trim, which is all on there. That's mad, Ted, isn't it? Absolutely mad. Looking up on top, we have our antennas to power our radios. We have the same up on the top over the wing, and you're looking back here now, you have your rear light, and then you have your main beacon light as well. So happy enough there with a walk around check. Tie down was done. Control surfaces we've done. Ailerons, wing tie down, main wheel tire we've checked. Fuel tank sump, we've done that. Checked our fuel quantity. We've closed off our fuel cap. Engine oil has been checked. Starter drain haven't touched. Prop and spinner have been checked. Landing lights grand. Carb air, check seam for dust. That all seem fine to me. The nose wheel and the tire all seem to be in good condition. The nose tie down not applicable. Static source opening left side of fuselage. We haven't blocked them, so they're open and clear. Main wheel we've checked. Fuel tanks we've done. Quantities we've replaced the covers. The pitot covers off. Checked in on the stall warning system. The wing tie down, and then the aileron. So we have completed our pre-flight inspection. Lovely job. Right, so back into the cockpit we go. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring up OnAir, and we're going to be looking at some details. So we're currently on the ground here at what do we call it? Bowling Green. All right, so we're going to be looking for some sightseeing missions. So let's go in and have a look. Right now, bearing in mind where the weather is, we know that there's fairly bad weather to our south. So we'll see what sort of jobs we have here. So just what we're familiar with in Microsoft Flight Simulator, the career mode. OnAir does all of that and then some. It does far more than just kind of the basic, right? But what we have here, we can select sightseeing jobs. So if we wanted to have a look, we can look and see what the rate of pay is going to be. There's something here for about $3,000. And if we have a look at it, so we're going to be taking off from Bowling Green and coming back to Bowling Green, right? We're going to be taking, I think it's 2 passengers. And where is this they want to go off and see? Well, let's have a look. So sightseeing the Grinders Switch Winery and the Lewis State Forest. Okay, so we'll be flying, and our first waypoint is down at the Lewis State Forest. Right, we have to stay there for 100 seconds below radar altitude of 500 feet. Right, and Jesus, we have to stay within 1.5 miles of it. Then when we get up to the winery, something similar, stay below 800 feet. So that's what they want us to do in terms of flying. So that's what one mission looks like. So it's going to be a flight down to this waypoint, the Lewis State Forest, and we can go ahead and put that in as a POI, which would be fine. So we can track this on our map. Now these are custom waypoints. So we would have to identify where these are here on the map, and we can see it. Yeah, look, here's the ring in which we need to enter. They want to stay us within, they want to keep us within 1.5 miles, and they want to keep our altitude, below radar altitude of 500 feet. So that's going to be above ground level. So we want to get down good and low there. Now, there's no risk. We're outside of any sort of urban area. Nothing to worry about there. And then when we get up to the winery, well, what are we looking at here? It's only a small little area, but we can see, well, this is the winery. It's all one big premises here. So we can see we'd be flying around this neck of the woods as well. So that's what our passengers want to pay for. And this one here is going to be that of 3,000 credits. So we can have a look at it here. These are the actual coordinates. iPad has dropped the name. These are the coordinates that we can go in. And we can see it. So Grinder, Switch, Winery, and then the Lewis State Forest. And we can see them all here. All right. And physical view, road view, so on and so forth. We can actually get in and have a look to see what it is we're looking at. All right. So that's not a bad little flight. What else do we have here then? We have options. That's the beautiful thing about this. A sightseeing Toyota experience. Ooh. We're going to go to the Toyota Experience Center, the Columbia Mine Preserve, and then Burdett Park. So this is heading up to the north. So there's a number of stops there along the way. Or we can go for just a single one. This is paying some good money. This is going to take us out to this mission, which is going to be sightseeing the Illinois Iron Furnace. Ooh. Now, an iron furnace doesn't look terribly big. In fact, it's probably closed at this stage, or it used to be there, right? So OnAir is getting this details, obviously, from the maps. It's pulling in the information to see what it is, right? So what else do we have here? A single hitter will be grand. This one here is going to be sightseeing Escape Today, Owensboro. That's just over the village of Owensboro. What else do we have here now? That's 76 miles. That's out to the east. And that's going to be out looking at sightseeing Fall Creek Recreational Area. Okay, so that's that area there. We can go explore that one. Right? That looks lovely with the little marina there, doesn't it? What else are our options here? We've tons of options, which is great. This one here. Do you know what I'm looking for? I want to see, can we get something kind of south? Something down to the south would be ideal. That one there we already looked at. That's to the north, east, north. Let's see what else we can do. What's this one for? So this is going to be down to the Nashville Zoo, and then the Sri Ganesha Temple in Nashville. So the Nashville Zoo we can overfly, right? That could be fun. And then we get out to a temple. Interesting. That looks interesting, doesn't it? Let's go with that. We're only taking one passenger. So why don't we go in and take this mission, right? So we'll show the legs. And let me see here now. So it's going to be in our Cessna 172. And let's see here now. It's going to pay us 2,800 or 2,100, right? And we'll go in and fly this. So where did we say we're flying to? Let's have a look. Show my aircraft. That's where my aircraft are located. Grand. In progress. Prepare for your flight. All right. So destination is going to be where we're taking off. So it's going to be that of KBWG, right? And let me see here now. So our fuel on board, we're fairly well loaded with fuel. So we'll call it 80%. And that's going to give us plenty of flying. Passengers, 1 eco, standard. Going to validate the fuel. That's looking good. UTC offset. We'll set time to 0755. That'll do. And we're going to click on the fly now. And then we're going to figure out how we're going to navigate to this. Robert Harrison, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. So our first one here is just outside of KBNA, which is Nashville International, right? KBNA. So let me see. Fuel auto set, payload auto set. There we go. That's going to go into the aircraft. So we need to go off and find this stuff here now, right? Says you, how do we find it? Well, we're going to open up our Garmin unit and see if we can track it from here. So KBNA, and then we need to go down and start looking for it. So if you look at KBNA, just outside of that, well, there's a zoo, right? So let me see. The map I can choose here is OpenStreetMap. No, VF4, we should see it. Because this should show us, if I'm not mistaken, VF4 US. This should show us the zoo, I would have thought. So there's stadiums out here. So it's just south. There's a train station we can look at. So KBNA. Let's have a look. TN33 Oak Hill. Let's have a look. So KBNA. We're just out a bit from the airport. So we're over here, look. We're over this neck of the woods. And it's where the railway and the road all meet. Okay. So I would say it's over this neck of the woods here. There's the road. That's it right there. Okay, so there's the railway. So therefore, we want to go to roughly here, I'd say. We want to go roughly there. So we're going to put this one in as a zoo, right? So that's what I'm going to type in there. Mr. Milo, good to see you, buddy. Greetings from Nashville. Welcome in. Welcome in. So we're going to go to the zoo, right? And then our next waypoint is almost directly west of that. So let's see what we can do here. So if there's the zoo, there's Oak Hill. There's a bit of airspace we need to look at. Now, is there another railway up here, perhaps? That looks like a railway, yes. So you have a motorway and then a railway. So there's a motorway and then a railway. I wonder. So we're going to be slightly north of it. So I reckon we're up here somewhere. So there's the railway coming down. It seems to swing in from this neck of the woods. And there's another airport up there. What's this airport up here? TN34 is a helipad. Interesting. So it must be up here. Or is that it there, I wonder? KJWN. Is that KJWN? Yeah. All right, so there's KJWN. So we want to be KJWN around the river, just south of the river where it bends out. And then we have this connection here. All right, we're getting close, so we can say, right, it's where the road comes down over the motorway and the rail, and our target is just going to be in this little fella here. So we are going to select this guy. And this guy here is that of, what's it called? It is the temple, isn't it? So we're going to call this one Temple. Temple. And we're going to save that. Right, so I have two little waypoints going into my Garmin Pilot. We're going to start a flight plan. So what we're going to do, our origin airport is going to be where we're on the ground, which is KBWG. KBWG. En route, we're going to add in our own ones. So the first one is going to be zoo. After the zoo, it's going to be out to the temple because I've already saved these as custom POIs. And then our destination is going to be back to KBWG. Okay, the aircraft in which we're going to fly today is that of November 80991. Departure time is all set. Altitude along the way, 7.5. We don't need 7.5. We're going to bring this one down low. We're flying pretty much westerly on this, so that's going to be a even altitude plus 500. We're going to keep it nice and low. So let me see. 2.5 feet will probably do us. And that looks good. That looks good. And let's go ahead and create that trip. So new trip has been created. We'll go ahead and activate. That's what it looks like on our map here. Perfect. And we'll bring this guy over to the right hand side and we'll say start tracking. Aircraft's loaded. Brilliant. Dave Cleary, legend Dave. Welcome in, Dave. Good to see you, buddy. Okay, OnAir is now tracking. Super duper. So, quick checklist before we get going. Before start, pre-flight inspection is complete. Seatbelts are done. Fuel valve selector. Let's come down here and check our fuel valve. It's on both. Then it's going to be avionics power switch is off. Brakes, test and set. Circuit breakers. Make sure all our circuit breakers are on the in position as we ramble down here. We have circuit breakers here. They look good. And yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Close the door. And we'll go ahead and get the window open. And I'm happy that all our remove flight stuff has been set. Put the key in the ignition. And let's see what happens here. All right. So we're going to have a quick look. Make sure we're going to set this one to fully rich. Carburetor heat not fitted. Master switch is going to come on. So let's just double check here. Flaps already in the down position. Master battery on. Flaps are currently down, so we'll need to bring those back up, but we'll wait for a bit of power. In terms of a primer, I don't have, so it's going to be a fuel pump. So park and brake is on. Looking down here, fuel shut-off valve is in. Beacon light, turn these guys off. Beacon light will leave on. Fuel pump. And we're going to exercise the throttle. And let's see what happens. So we're going to go for a 1, 2, 3. We're on both mags. Open the throttle. About 1/8 of an inch. Clear prop. And hopefully this starts. Are we ready, sports fans? Didn't like life there at all. Let's try it again. Bit more primage. All right, let's see what happens now. Come on, Betsy. Quarter inch on the throttle. We have that. So there is fuel flow. I can see that coming in. We're going to burn out the starter here in a second. Right, what are we doing wrong here, Chief? Mags, yes. Fuel, yes. We can open our engine visualizer to see what sort of damage we've done. 2D panels, engine. We're over-primed. Fair enough. We're over-primed. So, fuel out, turn. That's very interesting. Murphy, you're to braking it. Artificial horizon go, yeah. Easy to flood it, isn't it? Let's check the engine now. We're still over... Well, we're kind of half and half. Right, I think we'll just be stubborn with it. I hope the battery doesn't kick out. Clear off any fuel that's in there. It nearly gave a kick. Did you hear that? Interesting. This is a sure way to break it. Mixture out, throttle in. Yeah, I've been doing that. Less fouling. We're kind of primed. Right? We'll give it a quick shot of prime again. Let's just double check our little gadget here. Right, so that should be good, right? Hope we have the power now to do this. So starter with the fuel out, throttle in, starter engage. Jesus, really? You've already filled the cylinders, ventilate them with the mixture closed and maximum thrust. You know, we've done that. That's the thing. But they should have cleared by now, you know what I mean? It's hardly... I never started with a fuel pump. Murphy, you've broken it. Right, so she's now under-primed, right? I'd be a little bit worried about her old battery here now, Chief. Get in there and fix it. Right, 24.5 volts. The ignition circuit breaker's in. Yeah. Fuel is in. Alternator's off. Fuel tanks are on. Okay. Try it again. Now your guess is as good as mine. No, fuel shut off valve is in. Mixture's in. Jesus, lads. Very odd, yeah. Prime for 4 seconds, Mr. Reach, keep pushing the throttle in and out. Try that. Nothing. Not a dicky bird. Thoughts? It's as if it's shagged or something, is it? Fuel? See the priming coming up, right? That's so strange.
Can I get a refund?
Shout at it, Murph. No, the fuel shut off valve is in. Unless we have a problem there. I doubt it. Spark. Is it sound a spark? Yeah, there's sparks. 100%. Jeez, we're nearly out of battery again. This starter is absolutely shagged, look. I'd say a little restart is going to be required here, lads. That plane is broken. Reload the aircraft flight. Reload the aircraft? We'll reload the aircraft. Very strange, isn't it? Try it after repairing it. No, try that as well. Stupid question, maybe due to the flaps safety option. No, it shouldn't be. Could be, but I've never had that. The engine doesn't really
Loaded payload is lower than due payload, 0 instead of 6 kilograms.
Listen, we'll fix it now in a second, Josephine. That's a good one, isn't it? Yeah, they still lowered. Yeah, no, I know, but like it shouldn't impact on it. You know what I mean? Right, let's have a quick look. Right, let's repair the ticket here. Battery's back on full power, right? We're under primed, so that's okay. So mixture in, fuel pump on. Right, and let's see what happens here. What the hell? Jesus, there's life. That's a good one, isn't it? Alright, clean out some of this mixture, not too much. Bring down the RPM. Right, no idea what that was, lads, but we're up and running anyway. Strange one, isn't it? Right, alternator on, we're going to need that for the battery. Avionics bus 1 and 2. We're looking good. Close the window. First prime for 3 seconds, then mixture to minimum and then to maximum. Try that, Alex, yeah. GPU still connected, negative. Mrs. GPHI, good to see you. Alright, bring our flaps in. Just one of those things, lads. Flaps all the way home. Stand by. On. Continue. Continue. Map. Okay, what do you want to do here now? We're going to be checking on the weather. So that's done, that's done, that's done, and that's done.
TOS. System test okay.
Thanks very much. Safe taxi is okay. Before takeoff, parking brake, we'll do all that now in a moment. Alrighty then. So, weather is VF4, that's what we want. Runway for this one, lads, is going to be on runway 21. That's where we're going to be taking off from. And we want the weather. Altimeter is 29908. 29908. That'll do us there. And make sure we're synced up here, which we are. So fuel is okay, oil pressure and temperature. Pressure's okay, temp is coming up. Vac is low, but that'll be alright. Amps are idle. Shouldn't they be showing charging? There's the drop, so okay. They're charging, that's okay. Interesting. Study level. Yeah, very strange though. Like I didn't have that issue before with her, you know. Weird. We'll check it out anyway later on for our next flight, just to see, you know, it could have been me. Chances are it was me, you know what I mean? Right, let me see. Taxi lights are going to come on. Pitot heat. Do we need it? Where's my thermo? Let me see. We have wind, ground speed, and distance. Right. I can't cross-fill any stuff here, so we'll just be using this in heading mode, I suppose. So we'll keep that there. VF4, it's marginal, but we'll do it. It's going to be squawking 1200. That looks good to me. Taxi light is already on. Flight controls look and feel good. Alrighty, so we're going to be taxiing out to runway 21. We can go via... What's that taxiway here now? So let me see. Checklist. We're going to go safe taxi. And... let's have a look here now. Airport diagram. Runway and departure. So it's going to be runway 21. And our details here is going to be... yeah, 21 is operational. That's what we want. So let's get ourselves up and running and we go for a taxi. Sunjammer, hope you're well, buddy. On the parking brake. Bit of power. Easy now, Jemima. Weather sock is behind us, so we can ramble over here to the right, I'd say. Can we? That's where runway 12 is. So, no, we'll want to go, we'll come down here and then go to the left. Alright. Do 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 do. Alright. Easy now with the power. Little bit bumpy. I find that it's a little bit bouncy on the suspension. Just my own 2 cents on that one, you know what I mean? But we'll take our time. We got some hot air balloons. Right now, why aren't you tracking? Whoa, Betsy.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Thanks very much. Am I using ForeFlight? No, this is Garmin Pilot. We're using some Garmin Pilot today. So let me see. Alpha 2, hang a left. Easy now. Easy now. Alrighty. And we shall taxi down. So we're going to go for... we're going to go straight out for departure, and then we're pretty much with our passenger. Did we load this correctly? I think we did. Although it's not showing me when... Whoa, Jemima, there's a problem. Jesus, Murphy, you can do nothing. Get out there quick. Open the door. Can I not get out? The prop is holding me friggin' door closed. All is... You saw nothing. Right, close the door. Why isn't me, why aren't we loaded correctly? Ah. Apply? Right, so there's us and our passenger as we go for our flight. That should work, shouldn't it? Yes, Murph, that should absolutely work. Right, off the brakes, and we'll continue to roll here. Nice external camera. So, off the brakes, bit of power. And let's see what happens here. Does look terribly pretty though, doesn't it? We're just taxiing like a muppet though. Jesus. There we go. Watch the power. There's Josephine looking at us, lads. Very quiet or something, is it? Seems a bit quiet. We'll take it. There's our sounds. Right now, is that like the headphone simulation outside? Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? Well, that's interesting. Doc Nader, good to see you. Looks like your first time taxing the thing in real life. Yeah. That was a real doozy not starting that machine, but we're okay now, lads. Should be alright. So we want to be doing our run-up as we get a little bit down closer to the start of runway 21. Nice fast taxi. Only a stiff breeze can stop us now. That's the spirit. Easy, does it? So go for not to flaps. Heading was set for takeoff. I'm gonna do a quick run up just down here. Will you take off already so I can leave? Jesus, Justin. Where's the crack in that? Alright. Quick run up will do. Over to the right a bit. Yeah, I think the ground handling on this is a little bit interesting. Maybe it's my settings I need to check. Right, double check the annunciator panel. We're looking good. Mixture fully rich. Up to about 1850 on the RPM. Left mag. There's the drop, we're looking good. Right mag. There's the drop, and we're looking good. Buttons be crazy. Right, landing light can come on. Strobes on. Fuel pump for takeoff. Get our headphones in. We'll ramble forward. X-plane ground handling, we've been a bit daft. Little bit. Alright. On to the active we go. Easy now. This is going to be an absolute barrel of laughs. See the fuel? It's the little details I love. The fuel is actually switching in the tank, so you can actually see your fuel quantities move there. That's deadly, isn't it? Alright, easy now. Okay, so plan of attack is take off, fly the runway heading, and we're going to be heading out to our first waypoint. Alrighty. That'll kind of do us there. Make sure our heading is synced up, which it is. We're going to arm heading mode. Right, are we ready, sports fans? Power coming in. Right rudder. Let's go flying. Alright, there's the takeoff power. Watch the rudder. There's 50, 55. Oopsie daisy. And we're flying. Pitch to about 74.
Airborne time logged.
Ease off the rudder. Alrighty then. So down on our left hand side a little bit. Continue to climb. Go ahead, bring the flaps in. Easy. Okay, so we want to go to 2,500 feet. Gorgeous. Alrighty. So in terms of heading, we're looking fairly bang on there. Okay, autopilot heading. Activate. Heading. And we want to go up to 2,000 feet, which is armed. And we'll continue to climb here at 1,000 feet a minute. There's 1,500. Step on the ball. It's a little bit off, isn't it? 1,000 feet to go. Little bit of wind here, about 10 knots or so. Watch the climb. And our first waypoint is going to be down to the zoo at Nashville. Now, I ran that. There's a mod you can get to disappear the roads over your ortho. I've ran it, but it doesn't seem to be working all the time. Strange. All right, about 500 feet more to go. Power's looking good, and we'll get ourselves set up for the cruise. Temps and pressures are all in the green. Running the engine a little bit hard, but we'll wait till we get up to our cruise. Merv, I was able to practice on open heart surgery on my PC, and only the PSU sacrificed itself. Good man yourself, Frank. Jesus. Okay, so we should be now dropping down to hold 2,500 feet. There we go. Altitude mode has been captured. And we'll settle in for the cruise here. Easy now. A little bit down the right hand. Cruise power's coming up. Gonna reduce some of the power. Easy. 2,200 will do us. And start leaning us out. Easy. We'll go Richard Peak, which is roughly there. And let's get our 2,200 dialed in. There we go. Let's have a look here now. Fuel flow, about 10. To be fair, at low altitude, we're not going to get much better out of it. Alrighty, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. So our first waypoint is down to the zoo. How far to the zoo? 30 minutes, give or take. So we can follow out the main interstate on the way down. So as we're watching for things here, we're going to make sure that we remain in the green. A little bit of wind hitting us. Autopilot is doing its job. Fuel is grand. VAC is a little bit high. 5.5, it's still okay. And our lights are behaving. Sweet. We're moving. We're moving. Right. Yeah, I don't know what kind of threw me off there with the engine start up. I need to look into that. Sometimes it helps if you bind the mixture to an axis. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it can make a balls of it because it might be on just a tiny little bit. You don't realize it, and you can only really go by your fuel gauge here, as in looking at your fuel flow. Do you know what I mean? And you'll see here by the fuel, our fuel tanks, if you look at the needles carefully, there is a little bit of movement because what the airplane is moving. So that's all simulated. Like if we were to enter a hard right bank, you'll see the difference in the fuel. You know what I mean? So we're kind of going the right way. So far so good. Now, have we a vertical profile in this? I think I do. Can we look at like a vertical profile? Taps, Winselofts. Get rid of that widget. METAR is there. Add a widget. Airports navigation. Add a widget. Airspace. No airspace is found. Okay. So if I go into my synthetic vision, right? I'll show you all this now in a second, lads. And if I look at my flight profile, I'm going to bring this up on the screen. So, what are you using for the ground texture, Merv? Lafrita, it's good to see you, buddy. It's ortho. That's what I'm using. Ortho. So, as we can see here, well, what you can see now on the screen, right? We have our synthetic vision up on the top. And then below that, then we're able to look at our vertical profile. And what's handy about this is, okay, yes, we can see our altitude in which we're flying at, so we're at 2,500 feet, and we can also see any obstacles that are going to appear below us. And then we can see that there's a bit of airspace here we need to negotiate as we fly towards our first waypoint. We can also see the wind, so it's giving us a 12 knot headwind, which is fairly bashing us out of it, but it's fine. And we can throw in some other stuff in here now as well, if there was any adverse weather. So that's what's pretty awesome when we're using the Garmin stuff. Now, if we were to throw in nav, this is going to give us then a read on our instruments. So we're currently on a heading of about 200 degrees, altitude about 2,500 feet. Vertical speed is holding, artificial horizon is holding, and then we can see our airspeed indicator, which we are trailing just under 100 knots. We're at 91 knots here. Sweet. No traffic, check device connection. So we can probably get this from internet traffic. ADS-B. Let's see here now. So if this was using real world, well, X-Plane can actually show you traffic. In actual fact, if I were to turn on traffic global, I wonder would that work. Traffic global from Just Flight. We'll turn this fella on. So let's see now if we can start seeing some traffic load up into the aircraft, because I think you can. Situation data, so we are reading it. Sirius XM. I need to it'd be class, that's just like a radio station. Right, synthetic vision. No traffic device. Check your device connection. So I thought ADS-B works on this. Crafty Tigers, good morning to you, man. Ground station, so situational data. So that's being read from Flight Sim. There's nothing connected because we're situational data, so ADS-B, nothing, and nothing. Okay. So we don't have traffic there. Terrain we have. Weather we should have as well. That looks good to me. And then our flight profile. So that all works terribly, terribly well. Give me a little AOA back in there as well. Alright, super duper. So we're doing well, lads. There is a bit of weather here we need to watch, so there's rain and whatnot over on our left-hand side. So if we're looking out the window, we can kind of see where these clouds are building up, but there is precip out there. You can kind of see where, you know, we're starting to lose a bit of visibility. But for the moment, we're okay. and we're flying pretty much on point to the zoo. So we need to overfly the zoo. So if we go back into OnAir, we should be able to see the requirements of this. So let's have a look. So Nashville Zoo, that's where we're headed for. Okay. And can I get in here to see... let's see here now. En route, that's all grand for the moment. Flight score is grand. So at the Nashville Zoo, it's at a heading of 1907, 40 miles out. We have to stay in that zone for 140 seconds, so that's just over 2 minutes. We have to stay within 1 nautical mile, or slightly less than 1 nautical mile. We have to stay below a radar altitude of 1,500 feet. So that's the first job that we have to do here. So where we're flying at the moment, this is our departure. I mean, mad looking taxi, right? And we're going to fly down this route all the way down to the zoo. And we want to be entering this area, and you know, we can use the satellite here to give us an idea. So train station, that's going to be a visual reference point. We'll definitely see that in the sim, and we're going to be monitoring them. We got like condos and stuff here, and then we have the zoo, car park, all this sort of jazz. So we need to remain within that area. All right, after that then we're going to head across all the way far side of town, and this is where we have the temple. And it's something similar. This one might be a little bit more difficult to track, so we're going to have to use the motorway or the interstate and handrail that as best we can as we stay into that area. All right. So if we have a look at our current flight path, there is wind affecting us, so I'm not overly worried. So even though, according to our aircraft heading, well, I know it is pushing us slightly east. So that should be just tickety-boo. We hope, lads. You know, I say all of these things, but yeah, right. P-Swan is here. Good to see you, buddy. Cheers, Frank. All right, so far so good. With our GTN XI, this is a cracking piece of hardware. Now, I thought it said there was an update. There could be an update for this. But we have a load of this follows the official Garmin stuff as well. Now I don't think this works, but I know they want it to work. They're going to start adding this in time. They're going to pull the information from what X-Plane are providing them. So that'll all happen later. Sirius XM, no, there's none of these actually feeding it. Connex maybe, no. But we're grand, you know. We're grand. So we're heading straight down towards the zoo. It's going to take us another 24 minutes from here. Meanwhile, our passengers on board having the crack. If you get a subscription to Sirius or Connex, can you use those features? No, I don't think so. I don't think they connect through the TDS Garmin trainers, the slick one. I could be wrong now, but I don't think it does. I could be wrong. So there's our view. We're heading down. We're keeping that interstate as a visual reference point as we ramble down. We're here in the gorgeous 172. And well, so far the weather's playing nice. Jemima's going to go for an owl blast here. You know that tail number, isn't it awesome? November 8090901. I'm a huge fan of Aviation 101. Absolutely brilliant content. Like, it's just brilliant content. It's fantastic. It works on the Reality XP variant. Really? I never knew that. Maybe it does work on the TDS one, so I've never tried it. How much, out of interest, is a subscription to Sirius Weather? You know what I mean? I don't know. So let's bring up our weather here again. So there's bits of cloud moving. Nothing major now, but we're heading down south. The further south we go, right? Have a look at this. That's where all the crack is. Look at that weather down there, look. Jesus. Right? That's savage one. The trainer is the real Garmin software and it controls subscriptions. Mid Guns, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I'll need to look into that slick one. I think that'd be pretty cool, man. That's what the weather's doing. So we should be all right on our way down here. We're going to do a small little course correction. Again, we're looking for the zoo. Easy now. So far, so good. Temps and pressures are all grand. Airplane is flying the way it should. No major drama yet. It'll happen, don't worry. But yeah, how much is Sirius XM weather, right? Sirius XM weather. Plans. Let's have a look. Jesus. So we can get it for $30 a month. Essential weather information for all pilots. So that's Sirius XM Pilot Express. And that'll give us radar and lightning. So what do we get? We get high resolution NEXRAD weather, high resolution base weather, high reps. Jesus. And then you get all the Sirius XM satellite radio. That's pretty cool. Murph, did you purchase extra items off the Garmin EFB, or is this still in trial mode? This is still in trial mode. With a cloud building up over here, look. It's still very much in trial mode. You can get it. You can use Garmin Pilot for free for 1 month, I think. And yeah, as I said, I'm having fun with it. Like it's cool using this bit of software because it gives you a great insight then when you look at Navigraph, and you can kind of, you know, hey Navigraph, can you guys do something like this? And they'd be like, wait, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? But here's some weather changing, so we're kind of minimal via. Oh Jesus, I mean, you know, Dodge, right? Now I still need to equip, say, intentions into all of this, because it too can take part in what we're doing here, especially with OnAir. They can talk to each other, so that's the next thing I need to start figuring out, you know. Yeah, Roy, I think it's very good. It uses so if you're using X-Plane, it connects directly to X-Plane. It's just a data output. If you want to use a Microsoft Flight Sim, you just need Flight Tracker, and that'll do it for you as well. But as I say, like, it's something different, isn't it? I mean, you have the use of your first month will give you an idea. Like charts, for example, we can go in here. There's smart charts available for some places. You know, loads of information that's available to us. And depending on how fast X-Plane can push out the data, it's usually quite smooth. Usually. And the fact that it runs outside of your sim, well, sure, there's no impact on performance or degradation or any of that. Navigraph does the same, of course, but where Navigraph is at, it's certainly the advantages to Navigraph. They'll give you the Jeppesen subscription, which subscribing to Navigraph for itself, I mean, that's worth it, right? Because you have global coverage for charts. However, with something like Garmin, this is a real world EFB. So think about it, lads. If you're going to be doing real world training, well, if you learn the infrastructure of something like Garmin, yeah, you can use 4Flight. I used 4Flight before. When I was flying, I used 4Flight. But with Garmin, I'm interested in it. Well, one, because I've watched Josh use it, and two is because, well, the pricing is better. It's a cheaper product than 4Flight. And if you have Android, you know, 4Flight won't work on Android. I'm using an iPad, so there's no issue with me, but like I still like the fact that I can use this in addition to Navigraph when it comes to tracking flights, and you can see the way there's checklists on it, and you've all of these things. Now Navigraph, they're adding checklists eventually, right? So we better say all of this was done. I fell behind my checklists. Jesus. And it's very customizable, right? So normal takeoff, that's all done. Climb, that's done. And now we're in the cruise. Power, between 22 and 27. Elevator, done. Mixture, lean, done. Then we get into our descent. So, yeah, it's all there. So when you go back and you look at your checklists, Plus you can add in your own. And then you can kind of see where this is going with, say, intentions now, that they can actually call out your checklist, or you can tie everything into, like, it's all about achieving that, like, advanced pilot experience, even for sim pilots. So yeah, if I want to go to my where's this now? Imagery checklist. I should have more than that, shouldn't I? Scratch pad. So yeah, it has pencil support as well. I mean, you can use your finger, right? I mean, you can just say hi, right? Or if you do have something like an Apple Pencil, you can use this for like everything. Dead handy, isn't it? And of course, you change the cut. You can do whatever you want. Plus, it comes with a full ADIS, so if you wanted to read in, you can fill out. It gives you the full format in which you can just write things in here. You know what I mean? So where did we depart from? What was it? KBWG, was it? KBWG. So we can put in KBWG. So we were using runway 21, was it? Time in the sim 0755. Didn't get the information. The wind was 210 at 5. We've broken clouds at 3,500. Then there's overcast further up. Directional gyro. Line that up, you devil. Mac Vision, good to see you, buddy. Then you have your craft, so your clearance, and then you have any pyreps that you need to fill in there as well. So it's very, very good. It's a great bit of kit. Great bit of kit. And as I say, it gives you a good idea of what to expect then, you know, with Navigraph. Because Navigraph are always enhancing that product. And I know they have, they've updates coming, right? Just haven't seen them all yet. We just haven't seen them all, you know? Very interesting, especially the scratch pad. Yeah, it's very good, Roy. Very good. Like, you can pick all that up. It's about $100 a year, right? Or you can, you know, you can get better ones. Better, you know, the premium, which will give you a whole load of more bells and whistles. But I'd say you'd be happy enough on the standard, especially for flight simming. If you're going to be using it in the real world, well, then of course, yeah, you want to be looking in at it. But I've been enjoying it. I thought, you know, I think it's very good, and it's a cool thing to add to your sim setup. You know what I mean? Because I mean, the flight planning is in there. You can add your own aircraft, the checklists. It's pretty cool. Right, so the weather isn't doing us much favours here, but we'll plod on through it. And what are we now, about 15 minutes out, give or take? Yeah, about 15 minutes out. So we need to be dropping down to 1,500 feet, or at least stay below 1,500 feet, and we need to stay inside of this area. Now, to help us along, we're going to bring that speed right down, because we want to be traversing an area of about 0.9 of a nautical mile, right? So we want to be doing a fairly steep-ish turn as we cycle or a circle around the zoo. In a box, man! Good to see you, buddy. A very happy Tuesday. So it is something different, lads, for sure. It's definitely something different. So there's airspace we're coming into now that we would want to be watching. So we could... There's no way we can creep under it or over it. We're going straight through it. So the airspace belongs to Nashville. It's surface up to 6,000 feet, and it's class Charlie airspace. So we would absolutely need permission before knocking on the door here. So if there was ATC, we'd say, how you know, request transition to the Charlie airspace, and you know, there's another airspace, there's class Delta, and another runway or another little airport. The zoo is inside that class Charlie, you know. I saw in some of Aviation 101 pilot videos that they used ADS-B receiver, a white box demounted on the window. Is this option built in as you're using the simulator instead of real life? Is this option built in? Yeah, so in terms of showing other aircraft, we should see traffic being populated from... Traffic Global, right? So let me see here. I do have Traffic Global running. So that is running. Now, I haven't seen any aircraft on my map. Let's open up the map. So it could be the case that I need to recycle that maybe. Let's have a look. Where is it now? Better terrain, traffic global, settings. Radar, flight schedule, views. So it is showing aircraft. But they just haven't popped up on my screen just yet. So if we go back one, let's look at traffic. Like there's 24 miles out. ADSB. I'd say the issue there is traffic global. It's just not doing its stuff. So I wonder if I turned it off and turned it back on again. And let's see what happens to this. Could work. We could be lucky. Let's have a look. Traffic global. GA configuration. Is there a way to restart it? Traffic global. It could be the case that I turned it off. But technically, the answer is yes. You can display traffic on your screen here. We can show it on this one. You know? And then the question is, you know, can your Garmin pilot see traffic on this? Well, it should do. So if we were to go to our map, overlays, traffic is using Connext, we can go internet traffic. So if we look at internet traffic, this is going to be showing you traffic on your map based on what the internet has, right? So these are real world aircraft based on internet data, right? Your flight awares and whatnot. Or we can use Connext, which should be taking it from inside the simulator, but I don't see any aircraft being pushed from Just Flight. It does work. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Right, so we're getting close. Weather is starting to close in. It's looking all terribly weird and wonderful. But it looks beautiful, doesn't it? Absolutely gorgeous look. 'Tis a cool machine, lads. 'Tis a cool, cool machine. Very pretty. And OnAir is saying, get ready for some stuff. Nice. November 80991. Tony gorgeous.
Oh, behave.
Devil Kid, thank you very much indeed. Welcome to Flight Crew. I appreciate that, my guy. Thank you very much indeed. All right, all right. So let's bring up our VFR sectionals over here on Navigraph. We can see what's happening. We're now inside the class Charlie. Hermit something, good to see you, buddy. That's a lot of Navigraph updates for me this morning, right? All right, so there be Nashville. No, it doesn't. KBNA, what airport is that? What the hell? It's Nashville International. Be to Janie. Man, thank you for the follow. Hermit something, thank you for your 15 months. Cheers, man. Hope you're well. Right, so we're flying directly over the airport, which isn't a great idea. Now, altitude, we're going to have to get smart here. So we want to drop this down. Over here. We want to drop this down, let's call it 1,000 feet. All right. And our speed will drop here as well. So let's go ahead and arm that. And we're going to down arrow this one about 500 feet a minute as we approach the zoo. And then we're going to bring our speed right down. And we're just going to enter just a 360. We're going to keep it in heading mode, but just keep revolving in a 360. We could, if we wanted to, create a small little hold. But I don't think we're going to... Well, could we keep it within a nautical mile? We probably could. So if I did a procedure and... Wait now. Let me see. Waypoint, utilities, system, weather, terrain, traffic. I should be able to create a hold within this, shouldn't I? I can edit my own flight plan in here, so I can actually just draw in a little hold in this. So if I were to say... Let me see. If I were to say... Menu. Let's see here now. We'd have to use the bezel. I'm not quite sure how to do it. I've been stopping by multiple times now. Every time it's always a good time. Devil Kid, thank you very, very much indeed. I appreciate that, my guy. Right, so there'd be Nashville over there on the right-hand side. Course correction coming in. A little bit down on the left-hand. Our speed is picking up a bit, so we'll just want to be a little bit careful. We will be using VF4 on this. Now, we'll use the advantage here of Nashville, so let's get the weather. Altimeter over here is 300, so we're going to have to adjust that. So we're up on 300, and well, let's see what we can do here as we approach in a little bit closer, right? Tony Curtis, no, this is Navitab. This is Garmin Pilot we're using today. Garmin Pilot, and it's behaving itself very nicely, I have to say. So we want to be over the zoo here. Now we can download OS data, but I'd be under pressure on me map. You know what I mean? So we need to remember, lads, where it was we wanted to fly from the satellite imagery. Remember that we want to stay close to the railway, right? So we can see the airport now. That's our first visual reference point. Altitude is dropping nicely, and then we can kind of see there's the railway there. Oh no, it's not. There's the road. Where's the railway? That's potentially the railway over there. Maybe. We'll keep it going. Now we're looking for 1,000 feet, which is looking fairly low, right? But we should be all right for the moment. We should be all right. Once we level off, we're going to bring our speed right down. And we can add in a small bit of mixture here as well. And I suppose we better light things up. So let's just pretend we have special permission to do what we're currently doing. As we make a small little movement over across. That's looking in on top of Nashville. Wonder if we have any aircraft in there. We do. We have a ton of Southwest aircraft all parked up at the ramp. And that's Traffic Global doing its thing, look. Alrighty. So we'll take it nice and handy as we head down here by the interstate. And eyes will be looking out for that train station, which I would say will just take a handy. 1,000 feet is very, very low, but we're going to hold here. Are you using the base or the extra premium version? So with the trial, they give you the premium version. Okay, so watch our power here. We're going to try and keep it in and around 80 knots if we can. Because we're very close. And there is a bit of weather over us, but like we should be alright. So we've another... The railway should be over on the right hand side, which I do think that's over there. There it is. You can see trains, look. Choo choo. Choo choo. So there's the railway. And where the zoo is going to be over a little road. It's going to be over a little road. There's a big car park. And then there should be like forests and stuff. Right? Creo, take it fierce handy. P.S. Mirandai. Hello there. Hope you're well, buddy. Okay, so we're still on heading mode. Speed, we're after picking up speed there a little bit. Let's drain this off a smidgen. There's the train station.
500.
We need to keep that off to one side. We're good and low now. We're probably too low, to be honest. Bring our speed back because we want to keep this within a mile, right? Now I have OnAir open on the other screen, so we're flying directly to it. Show you here on the map. So here's us. There's the airport. We're just about to enter the zone, and we need to hold here for 2.5 minutes or so. So we can overfly the railway, right? But that's about it. So looking dead ahead, there is the car park, right? See the car park? And that's the zoo. All in there is the zoo. So we're now on site. Jemima, start looking out that window. Watch your speed. Small bit of power. And let's stay in this area. Do you hear her taking pictures? So we'll do a little bit of a left turn, and that'll help us then when it comes to our right turn, just to circle around. Speed is good. And we want to stay 0.9 of a mile inside this area. There's the car park. Speed is okay. Angle of attack is a little bit high, but we're okay. So the car park is there. We're now directly overhead the zoo. And now we're going to start a right 90. Over to 270. The secret here is our speed. Terrain alert, that's okay. It's ahead of us. We won't be going up that way. As we roll on to 270 degrees, we can see where the railway is up here on our right. Jeez, it's a huge railway yard, isn't it? So we're going to do another right 90. This is going to bring us up to 360 degrees. And remember, we just need to wait in here for about 2.5 minutes. Speed is good. There's the train station. This is all default, by the way, so it probably looks a little bit janky. She's still taking her photographs. Temps, pressures, all okay. Mixture's all okay. Speed is good. Okay, we've now rolled out on 360 degrees. And we're going to call it right 90. 090 degrees. As we turn around. Detail almost complete. Detail complete. She's happy enough. Excellent news. Right. Now we want to go to our second waypoint now. Do we bring... I'm unsure what we need to do here. Do we bring this passenger back to the airport and then we do the second leg? Or is all part of the one? I'm unsure, lads. I'm unsure. Where's OnAir? So she's happy enough with that. Flight status is done. Nashville, below radar, and then to board the passenger back at the airport. So this looks like... There's another waypoint out here. So is that the same passenger? How do we figure this one out? So, flight in progress, resume. Nashville Zoo. So I'm unsure. I mean, this says here, bring the passenger back. Now, we're going to go over here just for the crack, right? Just for the crack. So we're going to add in a bit of power. We're going to go back up to 2,500 feet. We're going to V-speed this guy up. Call it 700 feet. Loads of power coming in. And we're going to start making our way over to the next waypoint. I'm not quite sure if I'm doing this right. I think we need to possibly fly back this passenger, then take another passenger, and then take them out to the temple, I think. But we'll see what happens, right? So the temple from here, it's about 7 minutes flying time, maybe a little bit less. So as we're climbing back up to 2,500 feet, power's looking good. Speed is holding just under 90 knots. And we'll do another right turn here. Keep it going. And it's going to be from our location probably 280 degrees as we turn. All right. Matt is going to see a hardware setup for the PC. No, it's not. A Ryzen 9800 X3D. And we're rocking a 5090. And then there's all sorts of gadgets and gizmos here in front of us as well. Exclamation point specs. We'll give you the specs. All right. I was probably a little bit proud on that heading, so we're going to come back over to 270-ish as we ramble across. So another 500 feet to go as we say goodbye to the Nashville Zoo. And the rail and all the jazz. But yeah, I have a feeling she wants to go back to the airport. But we'll divert out this way for the share crack of it. We have sufficient fuel on board. We're still climbing. We're going to level off here at 2,500 feet. We're inside our airspace. All is looking well in the realm, lads. I'm actually going to get a bit of sunshine when we fly out here, so this is exciting. But yeah, it's quite possible that we'll need to ramble back and pick up our next passenger. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. So, looking out the window here, we can see there's all sorts of trains happening down here, look. All the trains. And we're pretty much level flight. Although, a little bit high. We're going to keep the power up on this one. Just give ourselves a little bit of mixture leaning. And we'll be there in about 4 or 5 minutes. Javon negative. This is X-Plane 12. This is X-Plane. Flight Sim VR Dad. Good to see you, man. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're well, buddy. Alright, so with our speed up, we're going to make a quick dash across. Again, I think OnAir just want us to go back to the airport. El Jemima here beside us. I don't think she wants any more photos of this temple, but sure, we'll wait and see, lads. I mean, you wouldn't know your luck. It's a bonus, Jemima. It's a bonus. She looks happy anyway. That's the main thing, you know. We'll see what happens. I have a feeling we need to go back to the airport, which isn't a big to do. We'll overfly this. If OnAir doesn't say, hey, we want you to go there, well, then we'll leg it back to the airport and we'll take our second passenger down. So 2,500-ish feet. Speed is looking good. We're getting decent speed over the ground here as well. Winds currently 160.4 knots. We're doing about 105 over the ground. And we're about 60 miles out. So we're flying directly over that general direction, but I have a feeling we need to go back and then come to here again. That's what I think. But we're skirting around this Class C or Class Charlie, so But yeah, Reality XP just got the name back. I sent a friend your request. I'll keep you posted. Dread Metis. Ooh. Cannot speak today. That's quite okay. Alright, so we'll see what the story is. I don't think... Nearest... So it says the temple, right? So this has updated. So it says stay within half a mile of this one at 800 feet. So we'll hear if this thing starts making noises, which it looks like it's going to do. So let's bring our altitude back down here. Power coming out. And it wants us to stay very low here. So let's descend us down here for the minute. Because I have a sneaky suspicion this might actually work. Let's see what happens. Fairly steep in our approach down, but we're looking okay.
That's a big 10-4.
Oh, Patrick Doyle, thank you very much indeed. 11 months, man. Hope you're well, buddy. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Right, altitude is coming down fairly lively. We're still on heading mode. Let's just make sure all is reset here. And this is where the temple is. So it'll be interesting to see if this is the one flight. I imagine it is, but we'll see. Train alert, that's okay. We've got 1,000 feet to go. Keep her going. Nice and easy now, plane. Nice and easy. Get that mixture rich. Temperatures are going to drop here. We can see that. But we should be alright. Who's using auto ortho here? I'm using auto ortho. This is all auto ortho. I'm happy enough with it. Now we want to go down to what? 800 feet?
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
You're
Pull
alright.
up.
You're alright.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Right,
Terrain
so
ahead.
Let's call
Pull
it.
up.
Let's call it
Terrain
1,000
ahead.
feet.
Pull up.
Wished, Betsy. We're alright.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
You're alright.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Nice. Actually modelled in
Terrain
a bit of a
ahead.
temple. Look.
Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Right, get that speed back.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
We need to inhibit that.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Yeah, this is it. Okay, they want us flying here. Sweet. Okay, so stay 850 feet. Bloody hell, we do need to drop. So let me see. This is all getting very interesting. So let us drop. Is she taking pictures? 800 feet. Watch the stall, Murph. We'll have to take this one over ourselves. Easy now. Autopilot off. And let's try and stay in this area. So she is taking her pictures. We'll throw in a right hand turn. Jesus, we have to fly this one manually, look. Right, easy. Easy. 20 degrees will probably do us well here. Watch the speed. Don't leave the area. 60 knots is good. Altitude is good. We're shocking low. Have you got an Instagram? Has it? I do indeed.
500.
Alright, hold 5. Watch the drop. Level flight, holding 60 knots, small bit of power. We got air balloons here, look. And we're going to cycle around this temple. A bit more power. Easy now. Watch the speed. And we'll continue to hold that bank angle. Watch your speed now, because we don't want to go outside of my arc. We had a nice tight arc here a moment ago. Easy now. 25 degrees, that'll correct it, I hope. Watch the speed. Stay within the zone. Don't drop your altitude too much. There we go. And we can straighten out here. Straighten out. There's the temple she's after. See the church there just over the nose? So nice and handy here, Murph. Easy now. Thank you very much indeed, Hazza. Very kind of you, dude. Right, climb up the hill here a little bit. Another 25 degrees. We're banking like absolute mad jokes here, but sure, Jesus, that's 30 degrees. Go handy. Easy now, mind the trees. We'll see that temple here now in a moment. There's the temple out the window. You guys see it? Done and done. She's happy as a pig in the proverbial. Right, bit of power. Bit of altitude. And we're going to roll to the right. And we are returning to base. Alright. That was a bit of crack, wasn't it? Alright, bit of trim here as we roll out. Easy does it. Easy does it. Bring our heading bug back into where we need it. And we'll set an initial course to 360. Let's hold it there. And we're going to get ourselves back up to about 2,500 feet. So we're going to go autopilot, heading. We're going to climb back up. Let me see, arm 2,500 feet. And we're going to vertical speed this at 700 feet a minute. And then we're going to bug back to our airport, which is going to be a new heading. Let's call it 030 degrees. Plenty of power as we're climbing. Mixture stays in. Got the landing lights off now, we don't need them. Temps and pressures all in the green. 1,000 feet to go. Filthy, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Hazza says, what are your thoughts on the Innie 340? I'm looking forward to it, Hazza. Looking forward to it. Mr. Tommy is here. Good to see you, man. Love what you've been doing on the Cows aircraft, dude. Terrain ahead drives me nuts. Yeah, we can turn it off. Betsy, be sensitive today. 100%. All the chat I've missed because I was busy trying not to, you know, end up in a pleshka. Right, ease off on our L climb here. 700 should be okay, shouldn't it? We're not getting all the oomph here. Up the hill. There we go. Loads of power. The 40 NG is out, confusing customers as usual. Nice. Nice. Okay, so 2,500 feet on the return leg. We're heading back up into that class. Well, we haven't left the class, Charlie, have we? No, we're still inside it.
Hello there.
Hello there. Ross Cud. Good to see you, Ross. Welcome in, buddy. Okay, so a little bit shaky on that, but it's like everything, lads. You spend a bit more time, you know, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. But that's pretty cool, right? I mean, that's all on air. I mean, you can hear the passenger taking the photographs. We have to go, you can see the progress bar around each one. So as we fly in, we circle around, they take the photographs, right? We legged it on then to the next one. Same story again. Look how close we got to leaving the zone, right? So we did a beautiful turn here. Second one because we picked up a bit of speed. That's what happened, right? But then we hand flew from there on in as we circled around, and then we got up and out of it. So now we're after climbing, we can see all the climb out, and now we're heading back direct to the airport. Runway 21 is what we're still going to plan for, but we'll pick up the meter on the way. We're now leveling off at 2,500, and we're going to bring our power back. We're not going to go as lean this time, call it 24. And we're fairly leaned out there. EGT, bring you guys up. Loads of fuel burn, but sure, it's grand. I have to remap my controls to fly the new DA40, but I do like it. It's really good, man. Yeah, the DA40 is a beaut. All right, we're doing okay. Beautiful. And again, if we wanted to review what we did on Garmin, well, we can see the full flight in here as well. So you can see where we flew around our custom waypoint that we created. We then tipped across over to where the temple is. And the same crack again, right? That's where we flew around. And now we're on our way back home. And we can see that there is weather. For sure there's weather. We can see it up ahead of us. So that's the way it's moving in. And if we come back up to where our airport is, well, we can go ahead and get some information up here. Let's look at the weather. So winds are 190 at 3. Ceiling is 4,000. Good visibility. Temperature is 70 Fahrenheit, 2.66. Altimeter is 3000. Density altitude 1500. Clouds 4,000 broken. So if we wanted to go in now and look at the airport itself, let's look at the airport. So, show us the airport there, Jemima. One runway might be closed. That's part of your NOTAMs. Okay. Runways, it's still favouring runway 21. So we're going to be going on runway 21. That's what we're after. And if you want to have a look at any of the charts here, airport diagram, or there's instrument approaches here as well. There's an RNAV. Ooh, there's an RNAV into runway 21. So we're going to be coming up from Zvezda. And we could spin it around that way if we wish. Yeah. Comms on this one. So Bowling Green. There's the AUOS. What else do we have here? Memphis Center. Briefing. Final approach. Okay. And then if we were to go missed, climb to 3100 up to wed vote and hold. That's okay. We won't be worrying too much with the hold. We should be okay for a visual approach. Because we should be flying away from all that weather. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see how we get on here. If we go back into our synthetic vision, again, we're at 2,500 feet. Give or take, we're slightly above it. Our vertical profile, no obstacles that we need to worry about just yet. And if we were to change this now to our navigation instruments, well, that's how our aircraft is flying. So, all well in the realm on that front. Ross says, damn, I've opened up Pandora's box and we purchases in the X-Plane store. Uh-oh. Yep. This is a great plane. The 172, this is an awesome plane. From Airfoillabs. And again, if we want to get in now and see how that engine is behaving, we had a bit of issues with it on startup. Now, I'm you know, that was definitely a Murphy issue, right? But like, we can slow things right down here, so you can see the pistons move and the different strokes, 4 different strokes, right? And if you were to see in real life, on a scale of 1 to 1. The engine is revolving, therefore it's doing, you know, a full revolution. A full revolution, which is all 4 strokes, right? It's currently running at 2,400 revolutions per minute. RPM. 2,400 RPM. It's mad, isn't it? I don't think it was overprimed. I'm not sure. It was definitely a Murphy issue anyway. Do you know what I mean? X-Plane, not gonna lie, does look good. Yeah, no, it looks good, man. It looks good. They've made some cracking enhancements with it. But the beautiful thing here, lads, about OnAir, you can use OnAir with X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Simulator. It doesn't mind what sim you're in. It can inject scenery into your simulators, be it rescue missions, sightseeing, what we've done. You've heard your one take the pictures and all that. Like, it doesn't mind. And P3D if you wanted. Yeah, if you wanted P3D, 100%. It really is it's a fantastic add-on. Is OnAir. And same with Garmin Pilot. This doesn't mind what sim you're in either. Do you know? So as we're rambling back, cloud cover looks a bit interesting. There's a hot air balloon out there. Great day for hot air balloon. We can kind of see that ceiling is starting to drop a little bit, so we're still okay via 4, but like, you know, just. You're now in industries. Without bots, it's hard. Oh yeah. Once you get into the industries, different kettle of fish, man. But we can see with the trees here, I mean, we're getting that beautiful change with seasons as well. I mean, X-Plane is well up on that. These are the Orbex trees. They're quite good. From a distance as well, you know, they're quite good. Which Garmin? It's Garmin Pilot Sunjammer. Garmin Pilot. So small little course correction. That's looking good. And we can kind of see where the lighting here is, the scattering. There's a bit of brightness ahead of us. So that's where we want to return to. Don't forget, lads, if you do like this sort of content, if you wouldn't mind terribly dropping an owl like on our YouTube, because it does help the channel. It's amazing what the owl likes do to the channel. So yes, I would very much appreciate it, and you're only brilliant, and thanks. You might want to put your landing lights on. You'll be seen by entering the circuit. Good call. Lights on. Tony Curtis says, I use it too, and I love it. It's very customizable to how involved you really want to be with running a company. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Victor, good to see you. Good morning. This is Auto Ortho. The map enhancement tool does work as well, but I've never had an issue with Auto Ortho. It seems to be running pretty well. You know, like we're getting, we're getting decent. We're getting decent performance here. It looks absolutely cracking. Do you know? Very, very nice indeed as we continue, as we're flying along here. Looking for music here. Have we got this one? We do. It didn't work. That works. Ooh. Isn't it a cool looking plane? Some weirdness with that cloud generation. Yeah, I've tried the King Air is so good, Victor. It's so good. So we're getting a terrain warning over here on our left-hand side, probably an antenna or something. You can see the shadows on the ground there, so yes, there is probably something there. I don't think it's being rendered in the sim though, but definitely there. I use both Auto Ortho and the map enhancement tool In ortho, some tiles are not loaded in well. The mat fills the gap. Didn't believe it at first, but tried it out and yeah, it works. Ooh, nice. Yeah, the King Air, I think there was one or two kind of nuances, but it worked well in X-Plane 12. I haven't flown it in a while though, Victor, so I might give it a bash. I might give the King Air a bash next week, do you know? I had for X-Plane 11, it was awesome, but Q8 said on a test stream it was a mess for X-Plane 12, so I didn't buy the upgrade. What, the King Air? Don't think so. Tony says, looking forward to their DC3. Yes. That looks gorgeous, man. That looks absolutely gorgeous. Right, we'll enter left for this one. It's going to be runway 21 when we stop. We'll be there in just over 10 minutes, lads. Milky Day, NM Flyer, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, man, it's pretty. Direct to Sim, good to see you. Welcome in. Marv, this or the A2A Comanche, which one do you like more? Ooh, that's a serious question. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, A2A Comanche. The AccuSim Comanche and the Aerostar that they're working on are just, they're top drawer stuff, right? In X-Plane, I mean, it's, what are you going to have a more realistic, oh, jeez, we're going down the rabbit hole with this, but like, what are we going to have a more realistic feeling in? Like, bearing in mind, AccuSim uses its own, it's using its own flight model. You know what I mean? The upgrade came out, he said it was full of bugs. I haven't tried it, Victor, but I must give it a blast. Yeah, it's kind of a crappy answer, but like if it was in X-Plane, the 172, if it was in Microsoft Flight Sim, the Comanche, or the Aerostar, you know. Black Square are also catching up something fierce, you know. But you can still cop out, right? Hey, Vex is here, good to see you. You know, I still maintain you can really have an awesome experience in X-Plane just as much as you can in Microsoft Flight Sim. You know, Microsoft do some incredible things and it's only going to get better considering the focus all year since they've released it has been on making it more stable, you know, getting rid of the bugs, making it more efficient. And we're going to see that more of that with Sim Update 4. That's really going to open the door for some absolutely incredible features. It just is, right? Once that sim is in a stable place, you know, that Jorg is happy and he's able to say, you know what, right, we're in a good spot now, right, let's start adding some features in. Don't forget, like, if you were to look at both sims, I think Laminar during the whole X-Plane 11 launch, they added features that destabilized the sim, right? Which Microsoft probably did as well, to be fair. But what we have at X-Plane 12 now, it's relatively bulletproof. The engine is relatively, it's bulletproof, right? That means they're able to add in more and more features like the weather engine, like the new lighting that they've put in. And that's why you're seeing rapid movement at the moment from Laminar Research. In saying that, you look at what Microsoft and Asobo are doing. With Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, they've spent all this time making the thing stable. They're trying to get rid of the bugs and make it more stable. You know, they got frame gen properly working. They have FSR in there now. There's way better thread optimization on multi-thread. It's way better. VRAM is a curse. They are getting better at it, and they're pushing a lot of that headache back into the third-party developers. WebAssembly is an absolute dire mess. I don't know how they're going to fix that. I'm almost certain when Microsoft Flight Sim first came out, it didn't even have WASM enabled, you know? And then, well, they needed it for the third-party developers. So I would say after Sim Update 4, we're going to start seeing more features being added to Microsoft Flight Sim. I see the career mode getting absolutely opened up. And I see more features being added because the sim will be in a way more stable place. And when that happens, then you're going to see Microsoft Flight Sim make rapid enhancements, just like what Laminar Research are doing. You're going to, like, it's great for us. I mean, it's fantastic for us, lads. So we're in the middle going, yeah, go on, kick the crap out of them. No, go on, stick him a loaf. Do you know, it's brilliant. It's for us, it's class, you know. Shut says, just over 10 months since the release of Flight Sim 24, it's pretty poor progress. I don't think it's poor progress at all, man. I mean, think of the mess when that was released versus what they have working now. You know? This is what happens when publishers push. No, we want it now. You can't have it now. It's not ready. Don't care. We want it now. All right. Like, that's what's after happening, you know? It leaves developers in a state going, listen, sure, we knew it wasn't ready. But look at the work they've managed to do now, you know? I think we're going to have a load of features added into Microsoft Flight Sim soon. And like, they know the crack. They're watching what goes on. They're watching what, you know, the developments in X-Plane, you know? Look how long 2020 took to get to a stable sim. Yeah. Took 4 years on Jammer. 4 years to get that thing stable. And even at that, it's, you know... By their very nature, flight simulators, regardless of... Well, there's really only two in town. DCS is different. But like, with Microsoft and with Laminar Research, you're never going to have the perfect sim. You're never going to have the most optimized. You're never going to max out the graphics. Like, you just can't, because they're constantly trying to push the platforms forward. You know what I mean? X-Plane has taken a very kind of, you know, rugged stance on, well, this is the direction we're going. Microsoft, they're in a consolidation phase. They're not expanding at the moment. They're making it better. Plus the PC parts, yeah, 100%. Well, it's interesting. Gibbo left a very good note there on our Discord talking about, you know, Xbox and what Microsoft are doing with their hardware and all the jazz. And of course, the biggest rumor going now is that Microsoft are gearing up to release Microsoft Flight Sim onto PlayStation, which could be huge. You know, opportunities all over the place if that were to happen. But as flight simmers, I mean, for you know, if you're involved in aviation or you just like aviation, which we all like aviation, it's great having the opportunity for both. The reality is this: if you want the most realistic experience in a Cessna 172 right now, it's in X-Plane. You know, if you want the most realistic experience in, you know, a Piper 24 Comanche 250, it's over in Microsoft Flight Sim. The airliners, that's where the vast majority of users are, right? Phoenix, I think, has just done incredible stuff. You know, their aircraft are absolutely friggin' nuts. PMDG as well, to an extent, as the iFly. But then you have Flight Factor and you have Tolus. Just incredible stuff, like incredible add-ons. The Challenger remains, to this day, the most advanced flight simulation product I think you can get. It's like, the amount of stuff on that thing is frightening, you know, and it's a great machine to fly. And yeah, like, you know, the best A350 at the moment is without question Inibils. Flight Factor are working on one, you know. X-Plane is greedy. It loves your VRAM and deletes your CPU power just for breakfast when you can run Microsoft Flight Sim on a potato PC. Yeah. Just test the GPS jamming feature with the Challenger. Yeah, but they have it on the... They have that GPS jamming feature on Inibill's A350, which is cool to see. It all comes down to what sort of an experience do you want? You know what I mean? As I said, my absolute favorite is Microsoft Flight Sim, only because out of the box, it looks incredible. We've a tremendous choice of airplanes now. Like, we got some cracking airplanes over in Microsoft Flight Sim. And we have our group flights, you know? On X-Plane, it's very much kind of a solo thing, or if you're on VATSIM, right? And, okay, the ground scenery, you have to put a lot of work in to make it look anyway decent. They figured out clouds in the sky. They're not at Microsoft's level in terms of how they look, but they're getting very, very good. They're getting close. There's been a lot of times now when I'm flying an X-Plane and I'm looking out this window and I'm thinking, that's real. You know what I mean? Ox says it's also not much mentioned that users plug a lot of external software and hardware into the sim that potentially destabilizes the sim in the PC. Oh yeah, all the time. Third-party scenery, add-ons, utilities, aircraft, and hardware all have the ability to upset the sim, you know? I think the Tolus feels better than the Phoenix, says Victor. I struggle when folks talk about kind of like how a flight model should feel, especially in something like a fly-by-wire, right? Because, well, what inputs, right? In terms of the characteristics of what the plane should be doing, yeah, I mean, there's a strong argument there. The Tolus feels like it's more complete. You know, it doesn't feel... I don't want to use the word arcadey because, well, they're not arcadey styled add-ons, right? They're far from arcade. But yeah, Tolus have probably ticked a lot more boxes there. They're endorsed by Airbus. I mean, they got the... Yeah, go ahead. You know? Upset the same like graphic updates for 5090s? Yeah. Yeah. But again, like, it all comes down to the different type of aircraft that you have. You know, I mean... The 757, it's dated graphically, but it's pretty good. 767 is good. Flight Factor's 777 is excellent. That's an excellent airliner. The Challenger, of course, is brilliant. Anything from Hot Start was brilliant. But like the TBM hasn't been updated yet. There's a lot of aircraft not yet updated. Stranda are doing nice work. They're the Coronado-esque style. They look good, they fly good, and there's a lot of features default now being baked into them, you know. Rip Johnny, good to see it. Vacuum says, of all Orbex's true Earth scenery, however, the default airports don't show. The default airports don't show. It depends, Vacuum, in your scenery INI file, the layout. There's like a structure they have to follow. Yeah, Sunjammer, it does. It really does. PMDG do great things though. They really do. Like, they have some absolutely phenomenal aircraft. And it all depends on the experience that you want, you know? For me, you know, if I was told, Murph, you can only have one simulator, it'll be Microsoft Flight Sim. You know, it was FSX. I mean, I started on freaking Flight Sim 95. It was FSX before X-Plane. And it's only when they abandoned the whole friggin' franchise, well, then X-Plane started making series. But they knew, Austin knew, like, here's opportunity, we can really start pushing this. And I jumped onto X-Plane. X-Plane, it was 10.3 or 10.41. It was in around then. The old crappy UI. Very powerful sim, but like, oh Jesus, like, you talk about a UI. How do you get around? How do you find things? It was friggin' nuts. And people who were used to it, well, they hated what X-Plane 11 brought. Yeah, it was good to see you. We can start the stream now. Good man yourself. Is X-Plane always that white? Yeah, I'm not doing nothing to the visuals. That's just the way the weather is. That's how it renders light and all the jazz. There's no shaders or graphics or anything for how X-Plane looks. This is default, out the box. You know? But, yeah, like, as I say, like, it's where Microsoft are at, and it's gonna sound kind of weird, but, like, just give it time. You kind of have to just trust the process. I think once Sim Update 4 is out, and they start adding features, 24 is like, it's without a shadow of a doubt, it has the most potential for anything ever. You know what I mean? X-Plane is still awesome. I still enjoy it. Right, airport is out the window. Yeah, over there. We're a little bit far out here, but we're all right. I still think I have X-Plane 5 CDs. No way. Jesus. X-Plane 5? News fan now, you're supposed to be working. That was Dino UI. Insert coin for more credits. That was that sort of UI. Do you know? Right, aircraft, how are we looking? So we've burned a nice bit of fuel. Temps and pressures are all in the green. Everything's looking well. We ran it fairly hot on the way home here, but we're going grand. We're going grand. Right, so for landing, lights are on. We're a little bit high, so we're going to start dropping down into the pattern here now. So we'll drop down to 1,500 feet. We'll nose down 1,000 feet a minute. Bring that power back. Desi, good to see you. New to Flight Sim, are you continuously trimming? I can't ever maintain altitude. Yes. So Desi, when you're flying, if you're keeping a constant speed, you should only really have to trim until it's level. However, if you change your power settings, you're going to have to retrim. So it takes, depending on the aircraft, and there's like a knack for it. You know, you'll figure it out fairly quick. Did Asobo talk about anything ETA for full? Did Asobo talk about any release ETA for Sim Update 4? I thought they said October or November. I would say November. I'm on my lunch break. Good man. Tony says, X-Plane 12 has been a mess since it was released. I've just started using it since 12.3, so let's be real. 2024 has improved a lot since release, and at least it was usable for me anyway. Yeah. But Tony, you'll probably find, you know, 100 people in another room going, what are you talking about? I still know people who can't get into Flight Sim 24. Would you believe? It's mad, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, it's, for me, it always worked. I think I don't even remember what normal looks like. Brilliant. This looks pretty good. X-Plane lighting is excellent. It's excellent. It's bright, it's not washed out, the colours are relatively neutral, they're not oversaturated. I think X-Plane has nailed the lighting. Nailed it. Shadows and all this kind of stuff. Right, we're going to start lining up for a full stop. Right turn coming in, let's call it 90 degrees. Watch your power at 1,500 feet. We're going to enter right base and plan our arrival back to the airport. We're looking terribly nice. El Jemima, who we brought for her, she got a good run out of us today. There's the money, would want to be good. Okay, so it's going to be runway 21, which is out the window over there. We're looking good though. You're currently watching normal, yeah. This to my eyes, this is terribly accurate in terms of the colours. Terribly accurate. I'd love to get Microsoft Flight Sim to this. How in the name of God I'm going to do that, I don't know. Loads of screenshots and then try and compare it. You know what I'm saying? That'll always help. And then we see where we go. The haze looks awesome. It really does. Really does. They've nailed all that. It's all about getting the correct sky colours. Like, now you could argue an X-Plane's a little kind of cyan. But by and large, it's very good. Alright, right turn coming in. Watch the aerials. Let's call this one 210 degrees as we fly straight. Power is good, 90 knots. We'll be turning ourselves onto final. And we're what? 6 mile final. Runway 21. We'll roll out, 210 degrees. There's our runway. All right. So, autopilot, before we do this, mixture rich. Autopilot off. I have control. And let's roll to the right here a little bit. And we'll set ourselves up for a visual approach for runway 21. Good. A very pleasant flight. So this flight, the whole idea was brought to us by OnAir. It was a sightseeing flight. They wanted to look at 2 waypoints. One was the zoo at Nashville. The other was a temple. We managed to do that. Jemima got our photographs, and now we're heading back to the airport to drop her off. Marginal VF4 here today. Well, it is VF4, but like it's you know, in comparison to where we flew last night, barely a cloud in the sky. Great visibility. Alright, watch the descent path coming in. Small bit of power out. That's going to make the nose drop naturally. Easy now. There we go. Alright, mixture is rich. Gear is fixed.
Hello there.
We'll go for not to flaps here now in a moment. Rusky chap, thank you for subscribing, buddy. Welcome in. Alright, looking good. First notch of flaps. That's going to bring the nose right up. Angle of attack is going to change. We're going to trim out that force and see what happens. Out over the golf course. The Pappy, well, they're not terribly happy, but we'll ramble on in. I'm not too worried about Pappy lights and Cessna. We've got plenty of room on the runway here as well. Plus the ramp isn't down until the very end, so let's see what happens. Picking up a few bumps. Easy does it. Watch your speed. Falcon 4. The barbershop, good to see you. What happens if you crash into a building? In X-Plane, you go on fire. You break it. But it just stops your sim. But yeah, like you can goose it. Some aircraft have very good crash physics. Now, you don't necessarily see them kind of, you know, mangled or that, but this aircraft has crash physics. Alright, little bit fast. Throw the nose
500.
Alright, Betsy. Jesus, she's loud. Easy now. Flight Unlimited 2. Do you remember Flight Unlimited 2 though? That used to be brilliant. Alright, eyes towards the end of the runway just to make sure that we're going in the direction that we want to be going. Our touchdown zone are the 2 white keys about 100 meters down. The threshold here, they're our piano keys. That's our initial, our aiming point then for our touchdown is just beyond that. We're probably a little bit high, but I'm not worried. We've loads of space on this runway. It's a huge runway. So 70 knots, we're looking good. Get ready on the pedals. And fly it in. Watch the flare. Power to idle. And we're just going to hold it. Hold it there. Bleed the speed. Hold it off. There's touchdown in the back.
Landing time logged.
And touchdown on the front. Alright. On the brakes a little bit. Easy does it. Flaps coming in. And we'll ramble here to the right. Small bit of mixture out. We'll exit the runway. And we'll get our headphones off. Lovely. Fuel pump off. And get our window open here as well. Nice and easy. And welcome back. We'll taxi back in on Alpha. Alright. Quite a nice day out here, isn't it? Let me see. Landing lights off, strobe lights off. P2 can come off. And we'll taxi back to parking. Yeah, they did a great flight. Yeah, great flight model and Flight Unlimited. Yeah. The Challenger has all kinds of stuff like bird strikes. Yeah. Well, you know you have that on the FS Reborn stuff as well, right? It does the same. This has it as well. You can bird strike on this and it'll smash the window on you. It's mad. Small bit of braking. Watch your speed. Easy does it now, Jemima. Bring those flaps in. We're gonna pass this runway. Strobes on. And we're clear of the runway. Strobes off. Alpha 2 will do us. And we just look for a spot for parking. I'll horse it in here on the right hand side. Easy does it. Wind's changed since we were last here. Easy now. Dee. Easy now, Betsy. It'll take a little bit of time to figure out the ground handling on this machine. But we're getting there. Ramble up to this 172 here beside us. Yeah, just the toe brakes are way sensitive on this. I need to do something with that. All right, so park and brake on. We're looking good. Transponder standby, and that looks good to me. Taxi lights coming off, and avionics can now come off here as well. Transponder coming off. That looks good to me. Avionics buses 1 and 2, and we'll go ahead and pull the mixture.
Engine off time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
Yeah, there's an issue with the mag. Key out. Nav lights off. Strobes. They're already off. Let me see what else here now. Fuel. Shut off valve out. And we can probably go with the alternator and battery. Alright. And there we have it. There was our little flight in the little plane that could. Beautiful. Right, OnAir, what have you got to say about that? Let's go in and have a look. So, let me see. Your flight has been monitored. Aircraft was our Cessna 172. Bowling Green is where we took off from. We flew our mission and then we came back. We got good experience on this one. Landing was very smooth. That's what we want. We got a reputation increase. Nice. Comfort bonus, safety bonus, aircraft handling bonus, soft landing and flight score. That's all good. Let's go in and look at our flight record. So we got 100%. Perfecto. Entire flight. We flew it comfortably. Aircraft prep was done. Departure was good. Initial climb. Our landing was spot on. 35 points awarded there. Arrival taxi and engine off. So we got full points on that one. And our flight today brought us first down to the zoo at Nashville as we flew around it. Then we headed on out to the temple, which was... where's the temple? There's the temple. We flew around that. And then we hightailed it back to the airport. So that went terribly, terribly well. Do I use OnAir for most of your sim flying? I do a lot, Roy, or Hermit. With this, like when it comes to our group flights, probably not as much yet, because I know not all of us are using OnAir. I meant to get Firefly Air up and running properly on it. But in terms of what we're doing, kind of, you know, there's one, usually 2 streams every week I'm using OnAir. And it's I'm loving it, man. It's just incredible. It really, really is. It's absolutely brilliant. So we're going to okay to all of that. That's after bringing in a few schmondules, and we're at our unlocking a skill point here, which is nice. So we can go in and have a look at our skills. So let me see. We have... So FBO, workshops, we've 1 skill point. So we know we've already unlocked hiring. So we know we can get people in. Passenger jobs, we know we can do that. We can now request or at least go for medical jobs, right? Bank loans and all that jazz are okay. Workshop agreement. So let me see. Enhanced queries. Increase the number of jobs generated. I think I would like that. So we can go one extra one here. Right? And we're going to save that. So we're now level 2 when it comes to our skill jobs at our FBO, which means we should be getting more options when it comes to flying. So when we want to look at an airport, we should now be getting better options from the different airports that we fly. So from the airport we're currently sat at, we can say, well, okay, what cargo or passenger flights do you have available for me? And then it goes off and says, well, this is all the stuff here. And there's tons of them. Look, these are all individual flights. And I can say, well, look, what's the most amount of money we can get on one of these flights? Well, we can get 20 grand here. And that's 5 legs. So that's flying, that's huge, look. That's a massive flight around the States. And to do that in a Cessna 172, are you mad? Is the traffic injector for X-Plane from Just Flight any good? Asks Nerd. Yeah, it's pretty good, Nerd. Yeah, it is good. Just Flight Traffic Global. Very good. Or we go back into sightseeing missions, right? Or we can do medical transport, which is class, right? You go into rescue, so we can be just search aircraft, right? If you're in a helicopter, you can actually land and pick them up or use your winch. If you're in fixed wing, you just stay in the area. It's like top level support. So these are all the different jobs you could do inside the jobs. Then you get into the business side of the house and you look at your own logistics center. You can look at your industries. You can build your own factories. And then you have the world market. You can, employ people. You can work with other people within the world. That could be anything from, partnerships. They could have a factory, but they don't have the aircraft type, or vice versa. If you own an airport, someone lands at your airport, you can sell them fuel, you can sell them maintenance, and it's all about generating up your finances. It's so very good, lads. OnAir is absolutely brilliant. It's a great bit of kit. As we're looking at here then in X-Plane with Just Flight traffic, well, these aircraft we see, I believe, are from, that's default. We should have a bit of traffic here from Just Flight. But what we could do, we can load up at another airport and you'll see all the traffic coming in, which is, it can be staggering, absolutely staggering, right? So, for example, if we do a new flight, and let's say just for the laughs, let me see. If we have a look at Dublin, Echo India Delta Whiskey, and we start off, I don't know, over here. And just to show you what it looks like, so if we go for live time, it's 2 o'clock. And we'll start a new flight here with Just Flight global traffic running, or traffic global. It's pretty cool. Something Microsoft and Asobo completely missed, bringing back the mission SDK to the sim. Now we've like 5 different frameworks for missions. Well, they did. They brought missions in to an extent, but it wasn't great. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't great. I think what you have with OnAir and Say Intentions is more than enough. And of course, Jesus, you have the Mission Hub now from whatchamacallit, from Miltech Simulations. Absolutely awesome. It's absolutely awesome what they've done. Do you know? So I'm just going to load in some traffic here now. It uses, what do they call, the Blue Star or Blue Sky? There's some name for the models that they use. They're all right. They're not like brilliant. But at night time, they look quite convincing, you know? They look quite convincing at night time. And as I say, like there's stuff in X-Plane that's class, but then there's stuff in like Blue Bell. Blue Bell, is it? Yeah, that's the one. CSL and Blue Bell. There you go. You just have some deadly things in both sims, like really, really good stuff in both sims. And there's some add-ons still very much alive in X-Plane that are very good. I'm going to load in the Q400 just for the crack. You can inject live traffic as well with the advanced camera. You can even fly by any live aircraft. Yeah, advanced spotting. Yeah. There's a new free traffic mod that's even better called Live Traffic. I've heard about it. Yeah, I've heard about it. I haven't used it now. I was always happy with the Just Flight one. Live Traffic is what you're using as well. Is it good? Live Traffic. X-Plane. Is he using the same models? Let's have a look. Okay, live tracking fills the sky with live air traffic based on public tracking. So, yeah. Okay. It's compatible with 11 or 12. Legacy version running on 10. Before considering, check your traffic data options. It requires live traffic data from internet providers. Without live tracking data, it's useless. Live tracking works out of the box. ADS-B, Open Sky, Open Glider, Real Traffic, ADB. So it's using Open Sky. So is it using like oh, it uses you're using only CSL. No need for a subscription. Okay. Can you say intentions as well? Auto ATC AI planes. 7 sources. So where is it getting you free traffic from? What's new in this version? Overflight. Ooh, it'll actually outload TCAS targets. I wonder will that do it on Garmin? So hang on. So what we're saying is we can actually well, hang on. Well, multiple sources. All right. Well, hang on. Let's download this for a minute. I'm gonna let X-Plane load up here and do its thing. And we'll show you Traffic Global, which isn't using live data. That's just right have built in like tons of different schedules and stuff based on real world operations. Advanced camera, but it's only for advanced camera and lazy live screensaver spotting. Yeah. You can get it from network or from files. Ooh. All right, well, hang on. I've downloaded it there, so we'll pop it into... I imagine it goes into our resource folder, does it? Let's see. Like, how did the aircraft behave? Do you know what I mean? Because that was always the big problem. Like they'd be doing yaki boos on the ground, and it just looks weird. Do you know what I mean? Let's see here now. So X-Plane resources plugins. I imagine that's where it lives. And we will open up. Live traffic. Drop you in. Alrighty. Ah, the LQ400. So we're looking around here to look at traffic. So this is what Just Flight is powering into the sim, right? And you see, like, you know, there's a bit of aircraft there, right? And the stands seem to be correct. You got a couple of United sitting over on Terminal 1. That Ryanair shouldn't be there, but you wouldn't know what the crack is. Most of the Ryanairs live over there in the corner. That's a big boy to be sitting there, an A330. It's sometimes jiggery. Fruden, good to see it. So Just Flight, it gives you all the sounds and all the jazz. Now, this will hardly work, will it? Reload, plug-in admin, right? So if I turn off Traffic Global, and can I reload plugins? I wonder, can I reload plugins? Let's see now. Where is this now? Can we reload plugins? I don't think we can, lads, can we? Performance, information. I thought there was something in the dev options that we could go in. Let's see now. So is traffic after showing up? Traffic Global. I don't see it. So I imagine we probably have to restart the sim. Developer, let me see, reload. Reload scenery. Yeah. We'll just reload the sim. Give it a second. It'll shut down. Turn off my old loss of scaling. We'll give this a chance to live here now. So what I'll do, live traffic is gone in, and I'll take out Just Flight's traffic global. Traffic global, grab, put, and we'll drop it into on hold. Paste. Okay, fire up the sim. Let's see what happens here. Do. This could be interesting. Okay, so we're going to load back into Dublin, and then we're going to try this new traffic gadget and see what this does. This could be interesting. Haven't used this before, lads. It's science. We're doing science on a Tuesday. Who would have thought of it? Who's in charge on a Tuesday? I mean, where would you get it? Let us see. Right, new flight, as you were, into the Q400. This will take a few moments. Yeah, the XP reloader or something like that. Need to look into that. This will probably take a few moments to load up. I know it's working hard because my camera starts freezing. If you're on the vertical stream. That's right, friends. We have a vertical stream on YouTube. And if you'd like to ramble in and say hello, you'll see what I'm looking at. Plus, you'll see one of these. That fella there, look. Ew! Looking at all my controls and me stuff. That's where all that lives. Ooh, look at that system. So this should detect us over in Ireland here now in a bit. Hang on now. If I disappear that and we appear that. So, information over at Dublin. Let's go and have a look. That's over the airport. All is looking good here. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Open up a satellite view. Jeez, that's fierce handy. Isn't that fierce handy? I didn't know you can do that. Done. Okay, Dublin International. Let's go into our charts here. We'll hardly have Dublin, will it? Let's see. Go back. Go back. Add a binder. EIGW. Dublin Airport. Are there smart charts here? These are all locked. Is that because I need the friggin... Ah, you need the subscription for the European stuff. Aha. All right. While we're here, good for a logbook. Yes, we're going to accept that flight. Well, that's okay. At least now we know what it is, you know. Nice iPad holder. It does the job. It's a long arm thingy-majiggy. And it just kind of puts it... I used to live up here, and I was just a little bit on the high side. So I said, you know, who wants that? I thought Garmin would have given me some sort of layout. Well, it kind of does. Because a lot of these are like flight charts. A lot of these would be free, would they not? No smart charts available. Ah. Right, what's the weather in Dublin? Wind 0906. 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Can I change that? Settings. Units, wouldn't it be? Units, here we go. Weight, temperature, degrees Fahrenheit, Celsius, please. Okie doke. Airports. There we are. It's 7 degrees in Dublin at the moment, lads. 7! Jesus! Winter is here. What's our TAF? Becoming at 1400, winds 120 at 6. And then 130 at 7. I think it's going to be dry today. So they're using the 10s out of Dublin, at least according to our weather. Now, we do have AIP stuff here. Let me see. You must have an approved subscription to view this. Well, the curse of... Right, we're in. What's this now? Filing buffer, one aircraft displaying. So this is new. This is what? Live traffic. So what is this business? Okay. So I don't see any traffic here at the moment. So let's get creative with this little add-on. Let's see what happens. My chair is making all sorts of noises. Right, let's have a look. So, live traffic. There. Status information. Aircraft info. TCAS settings. Show live aircraft. Yes. Open sky, ADS. We'll turn them all on. There are stopped channels. That's okay. Point to the folder where you have your models installed. Murph, make sure you release TCAS control in Xpilot. Make sure you release TCAS control in Xpilot. Okay. Okay, so we just set it up first. So basic settings. All right, show live aircraft, master volume, auto start, basics, right? Input channels, operation. Is that alone? CSL, modeling, landing lights during taxi, sure. Auto load resources, so it knows where they are. You would look at the real traffic one. So turn off all these other guys. There are inactive stopped channels. Output channels. For flight. No. What if I turn this on for... I wonder will it work with Garmin. Weather. Leave that alone. Okay, I'm not seeing any aircraft. Model options. They're okay. CSL is grand. Right? Advanced logging. Don't worry about that. So basics, show aircraft, yes. Master volume, grand. Use third party, hide static objects, no. Keep, yes. That's all grand. That's all grand. Okay, so the input channels. Wait now, real traffic. Website. Which one do we go for, lads? Real traffic. To test, you need a free one. Okay, what are the free ones? So we can't use real traffic. Just keep all the sources enabled. Right. It doesn't like that ADSB one. So real traffic wants open sky, registration, open sky. Have we to do all this? Using a registered user allows for more requests, open sky. After registration, you need to use your open sky network account. For the most, you need an API and subscribe. Mostly professional options for it. You can do for better. I didn't mess with any settings. It just works. This ain't working. Because there's no traffic, look. You know what I mean? Output channels. Advanced labels, no. Advanced, no. Debug, no. Basics. So, show live aircraft. Turn it on. No, I tried that. That doesn't do anything. Yeah, it's looking at the CSL directories. Auto load resources. It's already there. What does it say in the status screen? Where's the status screen? Seeing 23 aircraft displaying 0. Why aren't you displaying stuff? I know this is about to crash. Do. Let's see. Aircraft info. Labels shown. Aircraft displayed. Why is it showing no aircraft? Only the follow me car has successfully loaded. For help. Okay, so it mustn't be like CSL models. Live traffic. Settings. Let's see what happens, lads. Why isn't this loading? Is this a good add-on now or is it yite? Where's traffic? Live traffic. Turn it off. Turn it back on. Loads of errors. Okay, so it's giving out about stuff. Settings. Can you show the CSL settings? Yeah, this won't work, look. Stupid thing. If it works, it's good. If it's not working, you know. That doesn't want to work. I can't even get into the menu. Whose idea was this? It's terrible. Close all windows. Live traffic. Settings. It won't work, look. Stupid thing. Does it work in this version of X-Plane? It is working good. Like the camera option. Yeah. Murphy's Law. Why won't you open the menu though? Settings. Why won't this load? Maybe this guy's upsetting him. Do. Not looking good to me, lads. Flight configuration. Change location. Put us over there. New flight. Let's see if this does it. There's a lot of red text on the top right. Yeah, I'd say it's shagged. I'd say it's shagged. Live traffic. Settings. Like, will that open itself? Why are we getting nothing in there? Restart the plugin. I've done that 4 times, lads. FS charter error. Receive no data. Yeah, so it's giving out about like the it's giving out about the traffic sources. But I can't get into the friggin' settings, look. Yeah. Right. I imagine we probably have to restart the sim for that to correct itself. Do you know? Is there another way we can do it? So we're saying in X-Pilot, request TCAS control. So that doesn't like that. Ah, look, the thing was there all along. Hang on a second. Live traffic settings. Something not right with this. If I go to close it, you can see the menu. This is wrecking me head. Look, if I close it, you'll see it. The menu actually appears. Stupid thing. Let's see. Maybe some sources are blocked. Doubt it. And this might be can't open the settings. Aha! There's life in the feckin' thing. Right, CSL, that's what's not liking. Auto load, resources, live traffic. Right, select a folder. Select folder. Load packages from this path. Oh, Jesus. Whose idea was this? Turn off all these for the minute. Now, add a new path. Oh, Jesus. Whose idea was this? The slick one, have a serious word with yourself, will you? Right, I can't even select a new folder. Oh, Jesus, where does these live? Resources. Wait now, where do my CSL models live? X-Plane 12. Is it under aircraft? Or is it under resources? Plugins. Oh, Jesus. Where does this stuff live? It should be under aircraft, isn't it? Custom data? No. Resources, plugins, X-Pilot. Resources. There we go. Alright, okay. So it's X-Pilot. So, resources, plugins, X-Pilot. This is like, oh, Jesus. Stupid thing. Why can't I change that? Add a new line, X-Pilot. Select the folder. Resources, CSL, Bluebell. Add path. Right. Why does the thing keep breaking? Close that. Now, traffic. Well, where's it getting its traffic from if I haven't selected any of these? Say nothing, Murphy. Input, output, advanced, aircraft labels. Turn them off. There's a wee bit of traffic. Hang on now, we're going to use all sorts of science on this one. do. EIDW.
Sir, 776, good afternoon on 311 right, fully ready for report and start.
Aegis Air 776, standby.
Right.
Standing by.
Denmark 464, if required, give out to company at link 2.
Bravo, number 2, link 2, Denmark 464.
Stupid thing, resize, will you, window?
Link 050, Stupid 84 Delta Mike.
Okay.
Aegis Air 776, can you check in with delivery 122.985?
122.985.
Let's see what we can find.
Shamrock 13 X-ray, your push start is approved to release point November. QNH is 1030.
Start approved to November, QNH 1030, Shamrock 13 X-ray.
Delta Mike.
Shamrock 6 Hotel Romeo, fully established, left 10 left.
Shamrock 6 Hotel Romeo 160 knots until 4 miles, contact tower 118, correction tower 124.680, bye-bye.
Where are they going? 1 0, is it?
4680, Shamrock 6 Hotel Romeo, thanks very much, bye-bye.
Hang on now.
Secret 84 Delta Mike, right heading 070, cleared ILS, runway 10 left.
Riding 070 degrees, cleared ILS 10 left, Stupid 84 Delta Mike.
That's a speedbird, right?
93 Tango, turn right to Oslex.
Right turn Oslex, Shamrock 93 Tango.
Shamrock 93 Tango, descend altitude 5,000 feet. QNH is 1030 hectopascals.
Send 5,000 feet, QNH 1030, Shamrock 92 Tango.
Gemstone 55 Yankee Alpha, descend altitude 3,000 feet.
Descend altitude 3,000 feet, Gemstone 55 Yankee Alpha.
Traffic. Load in.
Hotel 1, Shamrock 16 Whiskey 1, Shamrock 16 Yankee.
Shamrock 464, follow your company, cross runway 16, hold short of runway 10 right.
Right, we're getting somewhere.
Cross 16, hold short 10 right. Shamrock 464.
Suntrack 1158, push start approved, tug release point Foxtrot, QNH 1030.
So we have an option in here to not draw a parked aircraft.
Echo, thank you, that checks. You are identified. Turn left heading 050, climb to flight level 90.
Climb to flight level 90, left when heading of 050, Jefferson 24 Charlie Echo.
Dublin, hello, Shamrock 39 Alpha, descending flight level 130 on the Bicycle 3 Romeo 260 knots.
Shamrock 39 Alpha, having a good day. Descend to flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, Shamrock 39 Alpha.
Romeo, wind check 110 degrees 7 knots, runway 10 left, clear to land. Clear to land, runway 10 left, Shamrock 6 Hotel Romeo.
Fox Tower, hold short, link 6, Shamrock 581.
Ryanair 792 Echo Taxi, Fox Outer, hold short of link 5.
Fox Tower, hold short, link 5, Ryanair 792 Echo.
Okay, so that's
Ryanair
it.
59 Quebec, Foxtrot number 2 behind the company on your left, taxi Fox Outer, hold short of link 5.
Yeah, company Fox Tower, holding 5, Ryanair 59 of Quebec, Fox.
0 by 35 track miles.
Left heading 270, Ryanair 45 Quebec, Kilo, you still want 220 knots?
A-firm, please.
There's no traffic source. Okay. 5 traffic settings.
030 hectopascal.
Altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1030, Ryanair 45 Quebec, Kilo.
1030, push processing west.
So that's given out that there's no data done there, yeah? Use one only. Okay, so which one do we use?
For a vector later on and reduce to 200 knots, Shamrock 92 Tango.
Like, there is movement here.
Ryanair 59 Quebec, Foxtrot, continue. Papa
What one is free?
Runway 16. Level 1, hold short 16, Ryanair.
Open sky.
Ryanair 792, Echo contact ground 121.8.
218, we'll go Ryanair 792 Echo, bye.
Okay, one sec.
Ryanair 870 Charlie, request taxi.
870 Charlie, we'll call you back shortly.
Let's see now.
Channel 581, continue Fox Outer, hold short of link 5.
Fox Outer, hold short.
Open sky needs registration. ADSB doesn't work.
Shamrock 464, monitor tower 118.
Real traffic website.
186, Shamrock 464, bye-bye.
Short of runway 16 behind.
Hello, company on our right, taxi Papa 1, hold short 16 behind, Ryanair 870 Charlie.
Ryanair 59 Quebec, Foxtrot, contact ground 121.8.
Active.
218, good day, Ryanair 59 Quebec, Fox.
Okay, so real traffic, enter license. It doesn't want that. Okay, here's planes starting to appear now.
Cross 162, Whiskey 3, Whiskey 2, Ryanair 59 Quebec, Fox.
Quebec Kilo, descend to altitude 4,000 feet.
Altitude 4,000 feet.
Glider, FS Charter, no. I know you're saying tensions.
Fox Outer, hold short of link 4 behind.
Yeah, so you can see 23 aircraft, right?
We are going to continue Fox Outer, hold short, link 4 behind, Channel 581.
So here's the lads taxiing. So it's not as accurate, but...
885, bye-bye. 25, 885, Shamrock 6 Hotel Romeo. Thanks very much, bye-bye.
Now there's a Shamrock landing.
Mike, wind check 100 degrees, 8 knots, runway 10 left, clear to land.
Clear land 10 left, clear at 84 Delta Mike.
Who was that, A4 Delta Mike?
Grand good day, Shamrock 6 Hotel Romeo on November.
So that's supposed to be a British Airways coming in.
To enter runway 16 with a left turn, hold short of Whiskey 3.
So it depends how holds the... I bet you that's a Speedbird up there. Yeah. So there's about, what, 3-minute delay? That's not too bad, right?
Reduced to 180 now.
Reduced to 180, Shamrock 90 Tango.
Ryanair 45 Quebec Kilo, caution wake, will be following heavy traffic on approach.
Is there any way to like lock this?
Speed 7 knots, 45 Quebec Kilo, copy the
Keep on top now.
Flex Air 61 Hotel, descend altitude 5,000 feet, QNH is 1030.
Okay, so in real life that Speedbird has already touched down, so there's a couple of moments. That's not bad.
5,000 feet, QNH 1030, Flex Air 61 Hotel.
So you're saying status. So we want to have a look at
two stations, Shamrock 39 Alpha, I think I'll hop with you. Continue on the 3 Romeo
the
arrival.
Speedbird.
Speed now to 220 knots.
On the arrival, 220 knots, Shamrock 39 Alpha.
Okay, how do we look at them?
5 on the Vantage 2, Romeo 220, left heading 5.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
Shamrock 525 today. Continue on the 3 Romeo arrival. Expect to turn inbound to beam 50.
Continue to 3 Romeo, Shamrock 525.
This is kind of cool, lads. I
You might get to fly one segment of the arc after Asda, but shouldn't be too much.
Roger.
And just on 24 Charlie Echo, can you redirect the turn brief, please, at Scholarship's request?
That's pretty cool. Hey, Tazzy, good to see you.
6007 today.
Sierra 6, Shamrock 164.
Shamrock 164, taxi Sierra 6, line up runway 10 right.
So it's about 5 minutes behind. Would that be fair?
Great, taxi Hotel 1, cross runway 16, Whiskey 1.
Taxi Hotel 1 cross, 16 Whiskey 1, Shamrock 70 X-ray.
Shamrock 581 behind the company, taxi stand 400 Charlie behind. Okay, behind the company, taxi 400 Charlie behind, Shamrock 581.
So there's a 5 minate delay between what we hear on voice versus the other. So I can have a look at the aircraft coming in. So there's there's an A330 inbound.
Actually, sorry, disregard, that'll be clear.
So
1158, taxi right, apron 4, hold short link 4.
Now you're an ATR, who owns you? EIGPP.
Thank you, 160.
Right, so there's an ATR.
On 124.680, bye-bye.
But I want to track the big boy coming in behind him. So we want to track FNG, Echo India FNG.
Emirates 1 X-ray, your traffic is in Aer Lingus 330 to park on 400. When they're parked, your push starts approved, release point hotel, QNH 1030.
It's not showing them.
330 to dawn, so stand 300 when he's clear out, clear to push and start on speed.
So FNG is one coming in, Echo India FN. Shamrock 93 Tango.
1030 and left heading 240, Shamrock.
Don't see him.
Scottish Control, 123.
There he is, 93 Tango.
123, 775, Jeffstone 24, Charlie Echo, bye-bye.
Liner 3652, report your speed now to approach 121.1.
121.1 with speed, Ryanair 3652.
Then it crashed! Jesus. Right, X-plane crashed. Loads of fun. So, we're between flight radar and what I was getting on. Well, Garmin is reading it as well, look.
Right, Sierra short 10 right, Shamrock 70 X-ray.
Shamrock 6 Hotel Romeo, taxi Bravo 2 Tango.
Where did he come from?
Bravo 2 Tango, stand 412, Shamrock 6 Hotel Romeo.
Faro.
Feature there 776, push start is approved.
See, he's coming in from Faro.
QNH 1030.
So we'll have a listen out to Echo India. Not Echo India, we're listening to Shamrock.
Speedbird 84 Delta Mike, hello, are you visual with the Swiss?
So this is Shamrock 93 Tango.
Speedbird 84 Delta Mike, thank you. Behind the Swiss, left to right in front, taxi runway 16, Bravo 2, Tango, stand 409 or Romeo behind.
Okay, behind the Swiss, we're going to taxi runway 16, Bravo 2, Tango, into 409 right, Speedbird 84 Delta Mike.
Affirm. Shamrock 70 X-ray, monitor tower 118.6.
Tower 186, Shamrock 70 X-ray, bye-bye.
Shamrock 13 X-ray, full length for you.
Affirm.
Shamrock 13 X-ray, roger, monitor tower 118.6.
86, Shamrock 13 X-ray, bye.
754 Charlie, descent altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1030.
So this lad just got his landing clearance and these Ryanairs are about to depart.
Ryanair 45 Quebec, kilo number 1, contact tower 124.680, bye-bye.
124.68, and for the 5 Quebec, kilo, bye.
That's it.
39 Alpha, turn left heading 190.
That's at 190, Shamrock 39 Alpha.
Moving Emirates 1 X-ray.
Happy days.
Wind 100 degrees, 5 knots, gusting 10, continue. Continue to for 5 Quebec, kilo.
So he's continuing.
Charlie, caution them during your pushback. Your push and start is approved to Bravo, QNH 1030.
Question to the other traffic pushing on Charlie. Push and start is approved, so we respond to Bravo, QNH 1030 right now. 3 Whiskey.
3 Whiskey, all correct, the traffic is ISAIR.
I copy right now, 3 Whiskey.
Aircraft 419 right now on the opposite tail behind you, shortly pushing, you will give way.
That's copy, Tyson 419.
39 Alpha, G speed 18.
So that's pretty cool. So basically what we're looking at here, this is all flight radar. You need to subscribe to this if you want it. This is real world traffic, but we're going to use this as a comparison to see what was happening. The other add-on that I'm using here, this is liveatc.net. This is for free. You can go in and listen to multiple airports, right? And you can listen to it live in your browser. So when you put the two of these together, you can actually listen into real world ATC. Don't think it works in the UK though.
Turn right heading 330.
I had 330 degrees for 55.
So 45 Quebec Kilo.
5 Sherlock, nice to tango. Runner 45 Quebec Kilo, wind is 090 degrees, 5 knots, gusting 10, runway 10 left, clear to land.
There's his landing clearance.
Left on Airfoil Quebec Kilo.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? So that's he literally just got his landing clearance.
Right, Sherlock 7 extra.
I'll maintain 160.
Can you feed live ATC to VLC and then introduce the delay? Yeah, you probably could, Ross. But to be fair, the guys over at Live ATC, they don't necessarily want the stuff broadcast. I've asked them for permission. They were like, yeah, no worries, Murph. But like in general, they don't want this broadcast. And then Flight Radar, I don't even know if they want this thing broadcast either. But it's pretty cool the stuff you can do, isn't it? It's pretty cool the stuff we can do. But yeah, I must look into the X-Plane stuff a little bit more. Definitely I'll look into the X-Plane stuff a bit more with that live ATC stuff. It's interesting. As I said, Just Flight is a paid add-on. I've used it for years. So yeah, it could be interesting to try the live ATC one. But anyway, that's going to do us for today, lads. I want to thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in. And we were flying in the beautiful, absolutely beautiful Cessna 172. And I've screenshots here because the sim crashed. So what can we do there? So we were where's my pictures here now? Oh, we have a couple of pictures. So that was the other day. That was our station air. That was our flight today, right? Madras Pilot, welcome in, buddy. Many thanks for the follow. So that was a screenshot from a flight earlier on in the Cessna 172. I'm going to go off now and reshade and see can I get the same result in Microsoft Flight Sim. There's the big, oh jeez, look at that for a shot. That was me trying to learn the Felis 747-2, an absolute cracker of an airplane. And I need to get back into that again soon and do some more flights in it. Isn't that gorgeous looking, isn't it? Look at the state of that. Absolutely gorgeous, lads. That's a screenshot. Right. What else do we have? There's another screenshot. I mean, look at the state of that. Isn't it stunning, isn't it? Beautiful stuff. That was a flight we did on VATSIM last week. What else am I doing? That was our Bonanza, the F-33. That was a nice flight we did. That's the 7-4. That's the Bonanza. Look at the scenery in that picture. Isn't that superb? That's X-Plane, lads. Isn't that mad, isn't it? Absolutely stunning what you can do in X-Plane. Stunning. That was from today, I think. Yeah. Again, that's like, look at the lighting. Isn't it just class, isn't it? And there's a work in progress. Firefly Air 747 on the way. Beautiful. Yeah, some of the screenshots in X-Plane are absolutely deadly. Look at that, look. It's real. Like, to me, that's my eyes when I look at that. I was like, that's real. It's mad, isn't it? Like when you look at that, it looks real. It's very hard to differentiate between, hang on, is that a sim? Okay, that looks like a sim because of the weird trees and that. And apart from like the foreground, the background, that looks real. I mean, look at the friggin' tail look. You would swear that was real. Absolutely stunning, isn't it? It really is getting, mad looking, isn't it? It's all X-Plane, look. Some shot that is. Ew. See, even the friggin' exhaust coming out, look. Mad, isn't it? But, yeah. It's a great the photo, like, okay, you know, from the AI aircraft behind it, but like you look at that Cessna Caravan, that is a photo realistic Cessna Grand Caravan. It just is. It's incredible looking, you know. But anyway, loads of fun today, lads. We're back to you on Thursday in flights. No, we're not. Yeah, we are. Our next flight is on Thursday. We're back this evening for American Truck Sim, and then tomorrow night we're bringing the news. We have, what are we showing? Okay, we're showcasing the Carinata 172 Classic 1956 version. We're showing you the Pocket Rocket, published by Inibills, plus 2 Inibills sceneries, and then on Friday night we've a group flight, Bring Out the Jets, as we go flying in the incredible T-33 trainer, which is this guy right here. We're taking him out for a blast on Friday night as we fly around the Alps. It's going to be a lot of fun. Right, that's the story now. I'm away for lunch. We'll see you in about 5 hours time for some trucking. So as always, guys, thank you all so very, very much indeed for tuning in. Have an awesome day, and we shall see you a little bit later on. Till then, you take care.
Do you need a hand?
No, I don't need a... Do I need a hand?
It's heavy, yeah. Jesus, Murph!
Hello there.
Oh, we've got a gun sight. This is a beta, so I'm not too worried. It looks great though, doesn't it? Listen to this. Did you hear that bang? Did you? How do we fix this? Right, don't panic. Microsoft, it's Murph. Someone clip this if you can. Do you hear the sounds? I've been blaming aircraft developers. Asobo or Microsoft need to fix this. Do you hear the noise? Outside the plane? You need to fix that, lads. It's the... Oh no, oh god, oh dear. It's like a friggin' Olympic somersault. What was that, Dwayne? Brilliant. Wait. No Poxem is in the SG 30 something thing. Oh no, Nighthawk. You didn't use your indicators. Electricity must be expensive in your truck, is it?